Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch. I am a chess grandmaster, and after the break of couple of days, we continue our educational streams. Let's go with the next 10-minute game. During the play, I will be commenting on openings, middle games, end games. We will see a lot of different tactical ideas, positional ideas, maneuvers, etc. So, the first game for today. Game 1, we are with the black pieces. No, our opponent doesn't like to play us. Next one. I am always pushing the random search. 10 minutes we play against whoever comes, so we are not selective. I think that's the best way. And first today in the chat to say hello is Grandmina. Grandmina, how are you? I haven't been streaming for a couple of days. Welcome, welcome. Hi DBM in the chat as well. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Let's go with the first game. We have the move e4 on the board and we will play the Sicilian defense c5. Knight on f3. Knight on c6. d4, take. And let's play this queen on b6. For those of you who've been watching the streams, you know that I like this line, queen on b6. It is not the best line, but I think we are getting interesting positions. So e6, the idea is quickly to play this move bishop b4. Now our queen is under attack, so we have to go away, obviously. Bishop on e2, and here comes the idea. Bishop on b4 with a pin. And then we try usually quickly to get this d5 work somehow. Now we have queen on d3, and this is quite strange because we have the option of knight on e5 with a tempo. So of course I'm playing the move knight e5 because it feels good. Also the move d5, of course, always a good answer. So let's see where the queen goes, and then we're gonna react accordingly. Let's see. Do we have actually many options here? Queen on d4, and I think we have something quite beautiful. So let's think a little bit first and then let's calculate, but I'm not sure, because what I thought is that we might be able to take, and then knight takes e4. Because in case queen takes, we have queen takes c3, and then we eventually going for the rook, but the rook is protected, so this is not working. Now the bishop is under attack, so we should or go back, which is okay because queen probably needs to move back anyway, and we play the move d5, which is looking like a good option. We can also take and then play d5, but I think maybe let's just move back because I don't think queen has some better options than just to go back, and we proceed with the move d5 as we planned. It's all about d5 move in these positions because it's just so important. We have the pin, we get the d5 quite quickly, and it's always good in the Sicilian defense to get the move d5 quickly. One of the key things. Alright, takes on d5, knight takes, because we have here the pin. So very, very logical. We would like to eat the bishop in case we can take the bishop. This is always great news for black. We still have this option of knight e5 somewhere, attacking the queen, plus we have this extra pressure on c3. So let's see what our opponent is going to play next. We have the move short castle. Now we have to choose. We can take, and play the move knight e5. There is some check on b5, but we have bishop d7, so that's fine. We can take also with a knight and try with this knight e5, but this is bad because then queen b5 check and he's gonna eat the bishop. So this we cannot do in the current position. That's why we take first on c3. As you can see, little tactics, but alright. We have to be careful always in the tactics. One mistake, chess is a tough game. So let's go with the move knight e5 as we planned. We are attacking now the pawn on c3. And same time, of course, the queen is under attack. Welcome everyone to VChess. I hope you're having a great day, great evening, great morning, wherever you are. We are back with educational streams. I will be playing games. We will try to understand most of the things that are happening here on the board and maybe learn a couple of things from the games. So that's the goal for today. We have the move queen on d2. Now, in case I take with a knight, there is this kind of bishop d4 and he might get some counterplay. In case I take with a queen, there might be still the move bishop on d4. Yes, I am pawn up, but I am not 100% sure that this is what I should do. That's why I simply take here on e3. So I guess he has to take back because there is just nothing else, and we're gonna be very, very safe now with a short castle. I have the better structure because these pawns are obviously not perfectly positioned. The knight on e5, it's fine. In case of f4, I can always go back. So this is all right. Next for black would be to somehow get this bishop on c8 into the game. The most easy way is to go bishop d7, followed by the move rook c8, or to play the move b6, followed by the move bishop b7. Now we have the move knight e5. Maybe the knight wants to jump. That's why let's go bishop d7. Most simple. We're stopping the white knight from jumping, and we would like to go rook on c8. And here we have the pressure. Mystery Man is back. Mystery Man, welcome, welcome. How you been doing? Also, Michelle is here. Welcome, Michelle. We had some break with the streams, but now I'm back. Rook is getting active. This is normal, but our rook is getting active by pushing against the c3 pawn. Let's go. Let's get somehow the c3 pawn. That would be beautiful. At the moment, the knight is still hanging on e5, but we're gonna find something. We're gonna have some solution for that. So, I see a question. Did you get a haircut? Yes, a little bit less hair now. Also, slowly, year by year, it is an automatic haircut. When I look at I look very rarely, but sometimes I see the pictures when I was younger. I had dark hair. Yeah, we all are getting older. All right. So we have the move c4. Is it possible to play the move c4? Because in case I take immediately, then we're gonna lose the pawn on b7. So obviously I will do something against it. Most probably I will play the move b6. Looks good. Looks simple. Simple, good move. All right, let's go. b6. We still have the pressure here on the c-files. That's why black should be doing here way better. Welcome everyone in the chat. I haven't been streaming for a couple of days. I see also Nayapes here with us. Excellent. So I haven't been streaming for a couple of days. I had to do many things because I've been moving. So now I am back. Now the streams will be frequent once again. So I hope you missed a little bit my streams, and I hope that, yeah, you're still enjoying this kind of educational chess materials that we've been having basically twice daily for such a long time. Let's go with the next move. So we have the knight, which is in theory better than the bishop in case we can keep it in the center. We have the pressure here on the c-file. Rook is a little bit out of the game, so normally it's good to have all the pieces in the game. Let's go the move rook on d8, and then let's see what happens next. So I see a question about King's Gambit. King's Gambit is of course playable, but on a high level it's very rarely played because King's Gambit is extremely forced. This is a problem. So it is like a super force line where white is taking a lot of risk. Black has several ways to play against King's Gambit. So King's Gambit is like not really. This is something that you can play once to surprise your opponent, but to play all the time King's Gambit is not the best idea. In general, everything what is Gambit is not the best idea. Ooh, and we can push now immediately the F button. Boom! So once you see the F, there is something special that black is capable of doing here. Black to play, black is winning. Write your answer in the chat. So I see a question by Nayab. I have a question. How much do you recommend chess 960 for improving chess intuition play? And would you recommend someone with 1000, 1500 ELO range to play 960 for this purpose? Nayab, the answer is no, because chess is already extremely complex game. And in case you have this 960, you make it even more complex. I think in case you focus on the basics, you're gonna gain more with the time spent. So 960 is just something funny for the top players, but I think for a normal club player, 960 is just something extremely hard to play. So I don't recommend doing that in case you want to improve in the normal chess. Alright, I see some answers in the chat, and of course we do play the move knight on d2. We have here the fork, the family fork, except we don't have the king attack, but obviously we're doing now extremely well, so let's just take the rook. We're having the exchange up position, which gives to black basically a win, except we are making some serious error. Let's go for taking some more material. We'll take the pawn on c2. Now you see that the black rooks are perfectly positioned here on the d file and on the c file. Rooks are always doing so well on the free files. Alright. Rook on f1. So of course we can do different things here, but I like this kind of queen c5 move because we are going for an endgame, and this kind of endgames are gonna be very easily winning, so we simplify in case we're doing winning. So I think it's quite a good idea to simplify when you have a winning position. Our opponent resigns, he doesn't like to continue, so let's go immediately with the next one. Next game, let's go. Let me read the chat for a second. What do we have in the chat? I see some discussion is going on in the chat. That's excellent to see. Let's see who will be, of course, our second opponent for today evening. Once again, we're black somehow. First two games. We have the black pieces, and we have here the London system. So popular, the London. I don't know why it is so popular, but it is being played again and again. Here, at least in online chess. I don't know if over the board it's that popular, because it's not the best system ever, to be honest. So that London has this kind of popularity is a bit strange to me. Okay, we have the move h4 with the idea h5 somewhere with the sacrifice. I just don't give the option to sacrifice something. Now we go with a short castle. Very solid setup. Knight on e5 is a possible play by white. Now we can simply change the knight, and the position is perfectly okay for black. We have the option of c5 and knight on c6, which is also perfectly okay for black. I don't know which move should we choose here. c5, a little bit more aggressive, or knight bd7, just a simple good play. We can do both. Let's go with, I don't know, let's go with knight bd7. The move is just so solid. We would like to change the knight on e5, and the things are fine. The move f3 is with the idea g4, but usually to push g4 is going to be extremely hard for white. So in most of the cases we're able to take on e5 because de is always bad. We have the knight on d7, so he has to take with a bishop, and after he takes with a bishop g4, we are simply going to take on g4, so it's never a checkmate. We have few options. c5 now is looking like a good option. We have the very solid approach. c6 also perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with playing c6. I like the move c6 personally because very stable center. We have the queen b6 idea. We have the b5 idea coming next. And maybe I will be starting with the move b5 because the move b4 is looking like a good option. Next, by the way, in case you like my comments, please push the like button, subscribe to us to VChess for educational chess streams. Especially push the like button a little bit so we get pushed in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much for that in advance. So let's continue. Let's see what is going to happen next. Our opponent is playing very quickly, very fast player. Bishop on d3, idea is probably b4 to get the knight back on e2. Yes, it is possible, it's not bad, but It is, of course, not critical for black. I think black is just doing very well in the current position. I think we can continue with the plan, just change the bishop on e5. It's not a must, but it's a can. Now we have this rook h8 idea, so we can even take on g4. Looks like a great position. We can play immediately rook h8, which is also looking like a great position. So we can, by the way, play the move knight f6, also looking like a great position. We provoke g5, we go back. And I think black is doing well, so we have to make a choice. 3 different options. Everything is looking quite nice for black, in my opinion. Which one should we choose to play here? I don't know. Maybe let's go with the move rook h8. I don't know. Feels solid now. To put the rook on h8, there are no threats. We might be able to play e5 somewhere. Maybe knight f6, maybe knight goes here over b6, so he takes. We're gonna take, of course. Some attacking chances for white, I think very difficult. Very difficult to get something done here for white. At the moment we're just so safe. Alright, and I see a question from Gear 5 Giga. As a beginner, should I focus on playing one opening or learn a lot? What opening would you suggest? As a beginner, usually you should not waste so much time on openings. You should try to become a better chess player. It means try to just do calculation training, try to analyze some games by the good players, so you will become a better player. To do openings, it's a bit too early, so you have to do openings later. Openings are important. As stronger you get, as more important are the openings. But as a beginner, you don't really need openings because the mistakes are coming later. So even if you do well after the opening, it is not helping because still there are a few major mistakes that are happening usually during basically all the games. So openings are not very helpful in case you are a beginner. Let's go back to our game. So how can we get to the h4 pawn? We have this solid e6 attacking the pawn, but maybe the queen will go here. And can we do, maybe we should get aggressive. Yes, I like this aggressive play. This is maybe actually a very good move because we would like to go b4. So we start our counterplay immediately here. And I think this one is looking nice because why not? Let's go with the move knight on b6. Let's start our counterplay. Rook is doing well. We are quite safe there. Oh, he goes for the endgame. I mean, we can go for the endgame. Not a must again. I think this endgame is perfectly okay for black. So should we go for endgame or should we try to give a checkmate? But then there is this knight f4. So let's go. Let's go for the endgame. The knight is coming here or here. We have the move g5, for example. Black will be doing fine, but it feels like black should be doing better. So how to get advantage in the current position? Because we can move the bishop somewhere, and then we have this rook h8 coming very quickly. On the other hand, we have this knight f4, and the rook gets there also very quickly. So what should we do here? I think we should maybe first play something like king f6. I'm afraid there is this e4 push somewhere. Should we be afraid of that, or it is just nothing? Maybe it is just nothing. So let's get the pieces out. Idea rook h8. Our opponent is very quick player, so we put the rook to some very solid position on h6. Next, we will be playing the move rook h8 with a pressure on the weak pawn on h4. So, in case we can get the pawn, black will be doing better. The question is, can we get the pawn? There is this h5 coming next. We have the king f6 idea, but there is a move e4. So, maybe still we're gonna play rook on h8, because in case of h5, we have king f6. This was my idea here. Is there something like the move e4? We have to be careful. We have to be careful. We have also the idea of king f8, which is looking much safer. So we have to decide, or we can do eventually nothing. So We have few options. Which one is the best? This is the question. I'm not 100% sure what is the best, but I think this is looking decent because I don't see how to punish my move King F6 immediately. In case there is no punishment, Black will be doing just fantastic. Opponent is playing so quick. We have to be cautious with the time, but I think the position is fine. The position is not looking bad at all for Black, so positionally, we are doing well. The question is there something tactical going on here? Because we would like to take the pawn. So obviously, in case we take the pawn, Black is just better. For White, to defend the pawn on h5 is like Rook h2, but then we go g5. So e4 is being played. As we thought that e4 is possible, my idea was to play the move e5. Now, let's double check if this is correct, because it feels a little bit scary, but I think we are doing well. With the move e5, I think it is the right approach here. So let's go with the move e5. Probably he has to take, because what else? I think there is nothing else except taking now on e5. And we will be trying to win the pawn on h5, so we keep the idea that we had. And yes, it is getting now a little bit tactical in the current position, but maybe we will be doing fine. Let's see, of course, how the game is going to develop. We have to bring the knight into the game in case it's possible. Now, knight on e2, I think we can take the pawn, because why not to take the pawn? We are taking, and we are a pawn up position in an endgame. So it looks like a very good position for Black. Now we are on the check, so we can just go back, I think. Let's just be a little bit cautious here, not to get some trick. No tricks, at least. I don't see tricks. Check, we just go back. Everything is under control. Next, we will be changing pieces. And that's it. So, after this kind of complications, now Black is doing better. We won the pawn, which is of course very important. Next, we will be just advancing here with our pawns, but let's do it by playing first the move Rook on h2. So we do simplification strategy. Once we have something more, we just try to simplify the position. We're taking easily there, and here it comes. Now the Black pawns start to roll. More or less same strategy again and again, but it is a good strategy. So when you're doing well, don't try to be a hero, just play simple good moves, because it is usually enough to win the game. Now knight is here, but I think we have the move c4 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna play the move c4 because it looks like we will be able maybe to give a checkmate very soon. Here comes the check. Very unpleasant check, and I think we have now the move d4 or b4. b4 is looking better, so I'm gonna play the move b4. This is very near to a game over. Now the move c3. Wow, my opponent is completely paralyzed there. No real moves to make. So let's go with the move d4. We are advancing step by step. We have a lot of time here, no rush, pawn up, no threats. Things are looking pretty good here. Now, let's maybe first attack the bishop, because let's see where the bishop is going to go. And in case of, let's say, rook f2, we're gonna keep the first rank under control. Slowly, step by step, patience. Patience is getting usually rewarded in a chess game. Don't try to win your games with the fastest way, in case you can win it in the safest way. Okay, let's go back for the moment. Let's see where the white rook is going to go. If he's gonna run after me, then we're gonna do, of course, something else. But let's see first what is the next move by white here. He's running after me, so let's go here, just to check if he's going to play the move rook on e2. Yes, he does. And now we can take and get the next pawn on f4. So, step by step, pawn by pawn. We have a question here by Rafael James. Naiditsch, if you had to play Prime Paul Keres 10 games, how many could you win? He's a favorite of mine historically. Wow, that's a tough question. I think it's not very fair comparison because we lived in different ages. So the comparison, I think, is wrong, and I cannot give an answer to this because back then, very different chess, very different everything. I think impossible to give you an answer to that. I really don't know. Bishop on f5. Paul Keres, yeah. Paul Keres was, of course, an amazing chess player, no doubts, but back then, no theory. Back then, everything was different. The tournaments lasted over a month. Can you imagine now to play 1 month long, just the same tournament? So the times has been just so different to the current ones. So I don't know what would happen. Maybe I would score a couple of games. Why not? Knight goes on h1. Let's maybe make here the c pawn our future queen. So we're taking on d3. In case he takes, we take. So still we have a little bit of time on the clock here. 1 minute and 30. In most of the cases, it should be enough to win the game. We are doing just way too good here to miss something. Taking the pawn on e5. Next, we will be advancing. Yes, our opponent is resigning. So, step by step, we won the game. Our opponent played very quickly, but we managed to get into the endgame and slowly to convert it. Our first game for today with the white pieces. Let's go with the move e4, knight on f3, d6. So we have the Philidor defense. Takes, knight takes. Let's go. Knight on f6, knight on c3. Till now, everything is as usual. In case you like my comments, push the like button and subscribe to VChess, to our educational streams. I apologize, I cannot see all your questions because when I'm playing, I need to be focused on the board and I focus on explaining the moves, then it's very hard to read your comments. Time to time, I take a brief look what is going on in the chat, but of course, very difficult to have the overview. I see Santosh also here with us. Santosh, how are you, Santosh? Almost always with us, and yeah, I took a break of 3 days. Now we are back with the streams. A British Indian also here. Excellent to see you. How are you doing? All right. Let's go with the next couple of moves. We have the move h6. This is very unusual way to play the position because h6, actually, what is the idea of the move h6? Not obvious, so let's put the rook on e1. It's always good to have the pieces in the center first, and then you see what you do next. Rook e8 is making sense. Usually the idea for white is to play the move f4. Should we go with the move f4 immediately, or should we play like more shy h3, which is also very possible? Maybe let's go first with the move h3, because in case I go f4, there is this kind of bishop g4 somewhere. Maybe just to make the things more easy. h3 first, now f4. We're winning some space here in the center. Maybe somewhere we might be able to play the move e5. Step by step. Usually central game is the best what you can do, especially with the white pieces, because we have an extra tempo. So in case we can cover the center, we will be doing very well. We have a question here by Chess Laboratory. How does an FM and IM improve in order to get into the GM level? Is it all about just mastering even more the skills? Yes, of course. You gave already absolutely correct answer. In case you are FIDE master, you are still very far away from a grandmaster. In case you are international master, you have to we have to be more precise. Are you someone that is very young? Or are you someone that is, let's say, in your 30s or maybe even you're 40 years old? It makes a huge difference. Of course, in case you're a young boy, you're learning way faster than in your 30s. So it depends. But still, a step between international master and the grandmaster, it's a very big step. So not easy at all. D5 and E5. So let's have this kind of beautiful pawn chain here in the center. Wow, we have a very tactical player, bishop on c5, because in case I take, there is this bishop takes d4 in between move, but luckily, or not luckily, normally bishop e3 is there to save the day, but I think not a very difficult move to find. By the way, all looks pretty logical to me. Then we have another question here by Raphael James. Naiditsch, who was a player, just a second, who was a player from that era that you really admired then? Karpov, you play very positional like him. Karpov is not my era, I'm just 40 years old. My era, it was the era of Kramnik, of Anand, of Topalov, and later Magnus Carlsen came into the game with great players like Caruana, Liko, etc. So Karpov is not my era. By the way, I have missed so much that I did never play Kasparov because he was also way older. I just missed him by a couple of years, but I missed it to play the great Gary Kimovic. Okay, we have the move knight on c6. Let's focus now a little bit on the game. In case I take, our opponent wants to take, b takes c6, and he hopes to be alright. We can play this positional move. King on h2 doesn't look bad at all, because in case we are taking now on f6, there's rook takes e3 and bishop takes d4. So because of all these complications, let's go with the move king h2. We're going away from the pin, which is usually the right case. Somewhere the knight is still under attack here on f6. Now our opponent is taking on d4. By the way, I can take maybe even on f6, but there is no reason to do that. So let's choose again easy lines. We're taking back. Once the knight is gone from f6, we will be taking the pawn on d5. It's gonna be extra pawn for white without obvious compensation. So the things are looking good, and I think we did pretty easy moves, I would say. We did nothing special, just put the pieces to the center and wait for the guy to do something active. He tried with the move d5, and now he is just losing the pawn on d5. So this is how chess is sometimes going. Easy moves are usually the best. In case you can play something simple, I would advise you always to do that. In most of the cases, it is the best play. In case you do something complex, double check, because usually the simple solution is just the best one. Alright, we have the move bishop on e6, attacking the queen on d5. We can take on b7. The question would be why not? But there is this rook b8 taking on b2. Should we allow our opponent to play something like that? We can. I mean, it's possible. Let's double check. Should we do that or should we not? We can take, rook goes here. We have this idea of f5 somewhere, might be deadly. So we can go back with the queen. He's gonna take, we play the move f5, and then we have this knight d5 coming next. Oof. This is looking really tough. On the other hand, the knight is completely out of the game, so we don't need to take. We can play some solid moves, and for sure white is gonna be just way better. What should we do? Solid or a little bit more spicy? I think it's not that relevant here, but I like this kind of solid play personally. So let's go back, queen f3. We have the idea of playing f5. We have the idea of playing knight on e4. Still b7 is under attack, so pretty safe play in my opinion. And then we see what is going to happen next. g6 on the board, knight h7, still completely out of the game. Should we double on the d file? Looks nice to double on the d file. Actually, why not? I think let's double now. Rook on d2, followed by the move rook on d1 next. everything is protected. Now we can even get the rook on d6, or maybe try to get the knight on d6. I see there's this bishop d5 somewhere, but it is not disturbing us too much. We can go with the queen first to e3. No threats, no nothing, no counterplay, which is visible. I think white is doing just so well. Let's go with the move queen on e3. As you can see, we're so well positioned in the center. We don't need to force the things. We can enjoy this kind of beautiful position. We can have this slow play, no rush at all. The b2 pawn is under attack. Should we play the move a3? Here we will need to calculate a little bit, but white to calculate. The b3, very safe again. We choose the safest things that we have. Very safe play, step by step, no rush to win the game. There is a question by Rafael. Rafael is continuing asking questions. I mean to ask you, who is a player from the history that inspired you? For me, I love Morphy. Yeah, Morphy is of course fantastic. I also like Morphy very, very much. Morphy was way ahead of everyone at his time. Morphy is absolutely the king of his age. But I played many games against the great Magnus, and I think there is nobody that is even close to the strengths of Magnus Carlsen. To me, Magnus is the best player ever, in my opinion. Even Kasparov, Fischer, etc. There are so many great players, but no one is even close to the strengths of Magnus Carlsen. This is, of course, just my opinion, because when you look his games, they're just so powerful, extremely powerful. Very Magnus is all-around player. He's great in everything, so it's not like attack, defense. He's doing like everything. And I think it's very rare to be this kind of all-rounder. Kasparov was very strong, for example, in openings, in attack. He almost never had to defend the worst position. Magnus is doing everything amazingly well, so very much all-rounder. That's quite rare. Let's go to the current game. We're taking away the material of our opponent. Now the pawn on h6 is falling. The pawn on g6 is going to fall next. Knight, beautiful here in the center. Our opponent is trying to defend the position by playing rook e6. But is it enough to hold this position for our opponent? Doesn't look like that. We have a couple of ways, I think, to finish the game, and maybe the most simple one is somewhere to play the move rook f2. Now we cannot. We can play this move c4. Is it a win? It looks like a win, so let's play the move c4 because I don't see a defense. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see a defense here for black. If black is going to take here on e4, yes, maybe the only way to play. I'm simply taking back. We have the rook h4 idea, we have the rook d7 idea, we have the two extra pawns, we can go rook g4. So many ways to continue here with the white pieces. Let's get first maybe the rook to the 7th, because why not? The rook will be doing very well on the 7th rank. Once again, our opponent is playing so quick. I don't know why everyone is playing so fast in the beginning. It makes no sense. Because in case you're getting a bad position, you don't need your time. There's nothing you can do with the time you have left. So I would always advise to be more cautious with your time. Let's go with the move rook h4, I think. Looks very solid. We have the pressure here on the h file. White is doing very safe. At least I don't see any threats at the moment. I think we can improve the position of the queen, or how can we win the game instantly? By the way, it feels like there should be something that is just winning. Maybe rook f4 is actually just closing the game. Let's go with the move rook f4, because I think in case he moves with a rook, I have this rook f7 attacking the queen and getting the knight on h7, so probably he has to take, but after taking I would not call this position playable for black. 3 pawns down, no obvious compensation whatsoever here. Looks like it is going to be a game over. Maybe our opponent is hoping that he's going to win on time, but still 1 minute 33 on the clock. By the way, I should play, of course, quicker than the current game, but I'm trying to explain the ideas. This is why we are using so much time here. Of course, I can play way faster than what I'm doing, but then we will not have the learning effect. So I prefer to play a little bit slower, but eventually we have more time to analyze some nice ideas here. Okay, let's give a check just to see where the king is going. And it's time to deliver a checkmate. What is a checkmate here? I think I can give a check on f6. And the next move might be this. Our opponent is still hoping. He hopes somehow to get back into the game, but how to get back here? How to come back? Except I will be blundering something heavy. There is no comeback, so I think we have the move e6. In case black takes, we just go back. No checks, no nothing. Queen on f7 is coming next. We give this check here. Next is e7, so we are promoting. And I think this is resignation now. So again, step by step. Yes, it is a resignation as we expected. Maybe we offer a rematch because I think it's always fair to play a rematch. And our opponent is also very, very fair. He's resigning. He's not playing like positions with a queen down. I think to play this kind of positions like queen down makes just no sense. Let's go now with the French defense. Last game we played the move c5. Now we go with the French defense. So French exchange, very safe opening for white. It's not an opening where you're doing better with the white pieces, but it is of course a very, very safe opening. Now let me read very briefly what do we have here in the chat. We have again a question by Chess Laboratory. If I ever played the Vorel Queen e2 variation in Rui Lopez. I didn't know that the name is Vorel of this variation. Yes, I have played. It's a rare line, but it's a playable one, so nothing wrong with that. c4, we have different options, knight on c6 or c4 in this French. c4 a little bit more aggressive. Now we go with the move bishop on d6 and short castle. Idea for white is to play usually the move b3, but it's a bit strange that we have h3 first. Maybe our opponent wants to be very tricky, but maybe we can play the move b5. Let's see. Let's see if b5 is a possible option. He would like to go a4 next. But maybe we can do something against the move a4. I think we have even a6 followed by bishop b7, so we keep the structure very, very safe. Maybe we should even let him play the move a4 because we can take, and to play bishop a6 attacking the rook. It looks also pretty fine for black in my opinion. Maybe also we can get very aggressive with a5, b4, but I don't know if we can do that. It looks very interesting, by the way, because it might work. Okay, let's get very aggressive with the move a5, just to have a little bit more action on the chessboard. Now we go. We might also take. This is also fine. Nothing wrong with that, but maybe let's get this crazy aggressive with the move b4. Now it's like black is white because we are way ahead with our pawns. Quite unusual. We have the weakness on c4. So let's try to keep the pawn alive as long as we can. Knight on e5. Makes sense. Our opponent is playing a good game. Now we have again quite many options in this position here. Have to calculate a little bit. Is it time to play the move bishop a6, knight on d7? Looks logical, so let's go with the move bishop a6 because he has to play rook e1 most probably. Yes, we see the move rook e1 on the board. And next, my idea was simply to get the pieces out. Knight on d7, maybe followed by rook c8 or queen c7. Now we have the pin, so I guess it is the move queen on c7. Let's double check that I'm not blundering something. Am I? Maybe I'm not. So let's go with the move queen c7. Quite logical, quite logical. We took the space, and it feels like black is now playing like white because we have the center. So let's see what happens next. We have knight takes d7. Should we take with the queen? But then he takes queen h5. So we have to take with a knight. Ooh, still, the position is not so easy, but I think black should be doing well here. I don't see anything like a very dangerous mating attack. So g6, preventing the checkmate on h7. And now we will be doing better, because take a look at that. The pawn structure of white will be falling apart. Just we have to be very, very cautious not to get checkmated here. The knight from b1, almost no squares to go. So maybe let's play first the move rook e8, because it looks so good. This would be a checkmate. He gives us the pawn on c3. Wow. Is it a good idea for white just to give the pawn? No idea, but I'm just taking the pawn because why not? And he's hoping to give a checkmate. Well, it's very difficult to give a checkmate. Of course, it is a try, but it is just something that is so difficult to do here. He has to remove the bishop and then eventually get knight on g5, which is still not a checkmate because we have the move knight f8. So the checkmate is quite far away. Still, it's a big fight. So what should we do next in the current position? We have this, maybe just to take and somewhere put the bishop, but he will go back. It looks quite nice, I think, for black. That's fine, but maybe we can find even something better than this. What else can we do here? Because to take feels like we're making his bishop a little bit active. It feels pity. Maybe we have some better solution here. Just to go back immediately with a knight, there is this bishop f6. I'm not 100% sure if I should let this happen. So, where should we go? Is there a checkmate threat? Maybe not. Maybe let's take, alright? And after taking, because he has to take, I would like to play this queen on b7, because I don't see where is the mating idea for white here. He also doesn't see, that's why he plays the move bishop c2, and my idea was now to get this queen on b2. I just don't know if I should change the rook first and then to play the move queen on b2, or to play queen on b2 immediately. Also, this move, by the way, is quite nice here. Bishop on e2, because where does the knight go? Eventually knight on h2 is not possible. I can just change the knight. Knight on e5. I think black is also doing well there. So should we change the pair of rooks, or should we go immediately with the move queen on b2? It's a hard choice to make, because both is just looking so nice for black. Sometimes we have no choice in the positions, and sometimes we have just way too many good moves that we are capable of doing. So let's go with the move queen on b2. I don't know. It feels like the right decision. I hope you agree with me that queen on b2 feels good. We're getting the queen into the game. I don't see any kind of mating threats here. At least I don't know how to make them. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see how to play for a checkmate in the current position of the white pieces. And we have the extra pawn on c3 here, which means if white finds nothing, we will be just winning with the black pieces. Rook on c1. There is this idea of rook to b1, but I think we have here, by the way, a very nice option to play the move rook on e2. You will see what happens in case of rook on b1. I'm not gonna tell you now, but okay, it's not very spectacular. I can tell you, in case of rook on b1, I would like to sacrifice a queen by taking on c2. Rook takes, we take cb. And this b1 threat is going to be deadly. So this is like an easy solution. Let's see. What do we have in the chat? So, in case you have some questions, please do always write them down in the chat. If I see your question, I will be always answering it. As promised, I will be taking on c2. And now the idea is to take with a pawn here on b2. As you can see, this looks so powerful, because b2 pawn is almost a queen. We can defend the pawn on b2 by playing rook on b8. We can play rook c8 with the idea rook on c1 next. We can also go bishop on d3, which is looking powerful, but there's maybe knight on e1 like a defense. So, should we get aggressive? Rook on c8, knight goes back, we play here, take. Looks pretty winning for black in my opinion. So, I think should be not a bad idea just to play the move rook on c8. Next is rook c1 or the move bishop d3. I don't know. We can play both, I guess. Now we have the move g3. What is he planning to do after the move rook on c1 or bishop on d3? Hard to say what is better. No, again, we have the choice, but I like the move bishop d3 because we bring the last piece into the game. I think cannot be a bad idea. So, let's go with the move bishop on d3. So powerful, by the way. Look at the beautiful bishops here on d3 and d6. Rook somewhere under attack. We still keep the option of playing rook on c1. We could have gone rook c1, of course, immediately as well. So, Grand Miner is saying, how long should you analyze games? Grand Miner, it depends on the game, man. Maybe you are winning in 10 moves, your opponent is blundering and resigning. What is there to analyze? Nothing. Maybe you are blundering something, opponent just eats away, you are resigning. Is there something to analyze? No. Maybe you're playing a great game, 50 moves, tough fight. A lot of ideas in the game for both of the players. Yeah, this is a game, of course, which you can analyze. So it depends very much on the game. I think in chess, I would like to repeat, like in my previous streams, try to be like water, like the Chinese would say. Don't make a strategy before the game. Adjust, always adjust during the game. So you cannot have a master plan. Master plan doesn't work because you don't know exactly what kind of position you will be getting. So you must always adjust. In case you're good in adjusting, you will become slowly over time a good chess player. But it's very, very important to adjust. So keep this in mind. We have rook takes pawn. What is the idea of that? We can just simply take the rook. This is so strange. Why he gives us the rook? Well, no. Now I think it is basically game over, I would say, because how to fight in this kind of position. Let's finish the game in style in case we can. I don't know if we can finish it immediately. We can finish it with moves like bishop on b4, but can we make it somehow beautiful? I don't see a beautiful win, so we will be just winning the game. Knight is under attack on d7. Well, I think not too dangerous. We might go just back here, so we can also take, and it is a game over. So I don't know, what should we do here? Let's give a check first, just to see where the king is going. Next, I think we were just taking on d2, and I think our opponent is going to resign now because there is no hope any longer to save the game. We have the bishop e4 coming next with a checkmate, so this is going to be a game over here. That's it. That's it from the current game. As you see, we slowly advanced once again because we had more space in the game. In case you can cover more space, you put your opponent immediately under pressure. So try to fight for the space in case you can. Board is just 8 times 8. The the side that is controlling more squares is usually doing better. So yeah, step by step, step by step. Chess is a game of patience. It is the way it is. Our opponent is spending now more time than he has spent before. Is it logical? I don't think so, because it would be better to spend time in the beginning now that he is doing completely last. Wait to think so much about the next move. The game is over, there is nothing to be done about it, so why now the thinking? It would be way better to spend the time more wisely. Alright, in case you like my comments, push the like button and subscribe in case you're new to VChess. We have educational chess material here on the channel. You can also check out our shorts. We have many nice shorts on the endgames. I'm doing this shorts. Yes, our opponent is resigning. As we expected, the game is over, so there's nothing to be done. Let's go with the next 10-minute game against whoever comes. So, in case you like endgames, take a look at our short section. There are many cool endgames. Just a couple of them are actually very, very beautiful, because these are studies, but still you get all these ideas. Alright, next game, let's go with the move knight on f3, because we played before the move e4, so now we go with the move knight f3 g3. This is called the Reti opening, or King's Indian reversed. So, it's like we are white, but we pretend to be black. After the current move order, the main is to play the move d4, not to allow this complete King's Indian. So maybe let's play with the move d4. Then you will get the better feeling, because we should not allow him to push e5. Yes, it is possible to play like King's Indian tempo up, but objectively speaking, it would be not the best choice. Now we have the Catalan opening here, because as you can see, it is e6 played on the board. The other option is to take and e5. Now after c4 we have the Catalan. This is a Catalan position. The main move here is d takes c4. There is bishop e7 as well, but then we're back into Tarrasch, and this Tarrasch is not the best Tarrasch ever for black. So I played this position a lot of times with black pieces, a couple of times with white pieces in classical chess. These positions are pretty tricky, so not so easy to play with the black pieces, in my opinion, because you're always slightly worse and you're suffering and you're trying to equalize, and it's like never completely equal, and the game goes on, and you're suffering. Sometimes it's fine. I like to play that against strong opponents, because you're more motivated to survive in the suffer. But in case you're not playing a very strong opponent and you have to suffer for the next, I don't know, 40 moves, you're feeling like, oof, that's a tough day today at work, because you're suffering and there is no end to your suffering. Now we have the Tarrasch, so our opponent didn't want to go for the Catalan. He's playing the Tarrasch. We go with a quick bishop on g5. Idea is simple, to get the quick knight on c3, putting pressure here on the d5 pawn. These positions are very playable, obviously, for black, but in my belief, we are doing slightly better with the white pieces, and we are pushing. So this is a kind of suffering situation that I've been talking about, quite unpleasant. Knight on d4 usually is the right plan here. Knight on d4. The other plan is to go immediately for the d5 pawn, but I like this safe plan. Knight is so beautifully positioned on d4. We have the isolated pawn on d5, which means plus equal for the rest of the game. Except, of course, there are gonna be some blunders or major mistakes on the way, but otherwise slightly better for white. Very safe position for white. Our opponent is taking on d4. Maybe he was afraid I'm gonna take the bishop. So now we take with the queen on d4, and next we're gonna put some more pressure here on the d5 pawn. Now only rook fd1 or rook a1. I don't know what's better. We have a suggestion in the chess. I think you should genuinely upload videos on openings. Okay. Thank you for the idea. Let's continue with the move rook on d1 h6. Our opponent is playing not a bad game at all. Now in case I take, he's gonna take with the bishop. I can go here, queen on d3. It's possible to play it, but I think bishop f4 is looking more logical. I think the knight is not running away from us, at least not immediately. Let's see what happens next. For the moment, our opponent is playing an excellent game with the black pieces because he didn't give us knight takes e6, which been not so easy to understand, I think. Let's see how the game develops next. Let's see. We have a question by Abhilash. Abhilash, could you play King's Indian defense or attack in the next game if comfortable? Yeah, no problem. I'm playing anyway a lot of games on the King's Indian, so I think if you've been with us during the last streams, probably saw a lot of games on the King's Indian. We played a couple of cool games there. Mystic Man is back. I see Mythic Man. Alright. And also El is here with us. El, how are you doing? El, a frequent guest here, very active participant of our V-chess community. Queen on a5, not a bad move. Our opponent is playing a good game, Quite a strong opponent. Okay, let's get the last piece into the game and then let's see what we can do next. In most of the cases, to change the queens is not a bad idea, so let's see if we can change the queens. Alright. Let me read a little bit. El is saying he's doing fine, excellent. I'm doing well as well. El, life is going, life never stops, so everything is good. Let's go with the move queen on d2. So we have this little trap here. Queen on d2 is usually doing well. Let's see how he's going to defend against a knight takes d5 next, because oh, he's not defending. What is that? Is it possible to take the pawn? There's rook takes, or what is the idea? But then we take with the bishop, so this does not work. Let me know your opinion in the chat. This is excellent puzzle here to be calculated, because we have the knight takes d5. If queen takes here, we're gonna take on f6 and we could take back. So the question is knight takes d5. Is it a winning move? Think for yourself. It's quite tricky here because there are many different options. So knight takes, we take with the rook. Because if I take there, then we have this bishop takes f2, which is not so easy, by the way. Knight takes, bishop takes f2, we can take it back. Is there something I'm missing? In my opinion, I'm able to take the pawn on d5 because basically it is over. In case knight takes d5 works, it is game over. In case it doesn't, it might be also a game over because I'm gonna lose the game. The position is just so tactical. It works or it doesn't. There are just two options here and both options are decisive. It feels to me that we are doing well after knight takes d5, but I am not sure. So, write your opinion in the chat. We have here this kind of puzzle situation that is extremely good practice for yourself. We have knight on d5. Works or it doesn't? To me, it looks like it is working, but it feels black might have something because it's so tricky, everything. Everything is just so tricky. So take, rook takes is a must, I think. Okay, worst case I'm gonna take, but I can take there. It looks, I think I am going to take. I don't see why I should not take, so let's take. Knight takes d5. In my opinion, it does work. So let me see what is your opinion here. We have first a message by Kokoto Vich Mile. Thank you, Mr. Naiditsch. I improved to 100 points in last 2 weeks by just watching your videos. Yeah, most welcome, most welcome. Thank you for the nice comment. That's great to hear. But again, I think, like in most cases, there is no great teacher. There is always a great student. Because this is, let's say in 99% this is the case. A teacher can only give you the right direction, and you must have the will to accept it. You must have the will to analyze it, to do all the next steps. So I personally believe there are not so many great teachers, but there are just usually great students. But I'm very happy to hear that you've been improving that quick. So what else do we have in the chat? Most of you would take the pawn. Excellent. I mean, in case you can make this kind of calculation, you must be already on quite a high level, because it is not an easy move here. Knight takes d5. Look at this position. There are so many different options. We have this kind of tricky bishop takes f2 somewhere, and then you're thinking like, well, maybe it's good for white, but you might miss something, and then it's just winning for black. He finds nothing, so he takes on d2. Now we can take on d2, but then there is this bishop takes f2 in between move. That's why we take first on f6. He has to take back, and now we will be taking the queen. We can take with the bishop, and we can take with a rook. I like to take with a rook personally, because we follow our strategy of simplification. So it means once we have something more, we are considering changes. Of course, we don't go crazy for changing everything, but we think, all right, in case we can change, we change. This kind of strategy is a quite strong strategy, so I would really advise you this kind of strategy. Try to use it for your own games. Once you see that you are doing way better, materially better. Positionally doesn't count, so every positional advantage one day should get into the material advantage, otherwise it makes no sense. So once you feel that you are doing better in material, so something more, try this kind of simplification strategy. It's usually a very, very effective strategy to win your games. All right, let's continue here. The pawn on h6 is under attack. Our pawn on a2 might be under attack somewhere. We have the move rook on a1 in case we need to. So, not that dangerous yet. Let's just take the pawn on h6. Never bad to take a pawn in case we can take the pawn. It means for us now we are full 2 pawns more. The pawn on a2 is under attack. We can defend it simply by playing a3, I think. Also b3 is looking good. We can also play moves like bishop f3, because in case he takes, we go rook a1. But why not just to play the simple move a3? Everything is protected. All right, all right. We have Ashkai as well in the chat. Welcome, Ashkai. Thank you. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing good as well. We have the move a5. Our opponent is fighting like a lion. What should we do next? I think we should just put our pieces a little bit more better. And with that, I mean h4. Just advancing a little bit. Maybe bishop here to d3 next, just to be safe. Bishop is under attack. We can go back with our bishop to f4. I think we are extremely safe here. No threats, no nothing. Next stage, changing maybe a couple of bishops, maybe rook, and later to win easily, having this kind of 2 pawns up position. Let's see, let's see. This is our strategy, and now comes the conversion. So just a good strategy is not enough to win the game. So let's see how we will be converting this kind of advantage. Akshay is doing great. Nice, nice. Bishop on g4, attacking the pawn on e2. Is it dangerous? I think not really. So we can get the king closer, we can give the check and put the bishop to d3. Everything is looking like a good idea, but still we have to choose just one answer. And I like to bring maybe the king a little bit closer. And then we get the king on e1. We have, again, a lot of time here. No rush. 2 pawns more. We will be positioning our pieces to good squares. And then we're gonna see how to make the last step. And it is to conclude the win. Next, maybe let's give here the check on e4. It's not looking bad. Bishop is sort of a little bit out of the game. We can change already the bishop in case we like. Is it a good idea? Maybe not the best, because he will have this kind of rook on d3, little counterplay. Not very dangerous counterplay, but it is a little bit of counterplay. That's why maybe bishop on d3 is looking safe. Great position for the bishop. Bishop on g4. Not so good. It would be better to have the bishop on e6. Now the bishop can just give this check here, but we will be playing king e1, so this is not dangerous. Next stage should be to change maybe now the bishop on e3. Of course, I am making my pawn structure a little bit worse, but on the other hand, the bishop on g4 completely out of the game, and it means for us that, yeah, usually it is already quite a game over. Let's see what we will be having next, but I think there is no recovery in this position for our opponent. And once again, we did nothing special to win the current game, just we choose safe play with the right strategy, and we are trying to control the game. So we try not to allow our opponent too many chances to be back. As you can see, rook is getting now to beautiful square on c6. White rook will be attacking the pawn. We are still having the 2 pawns up position now that our structure is not perfect, but it's still alright. And we should find ways to play against the bishop on g4, because the bishop is completely out of the game. Let's maybe first put the king on f2. Never a bad idea to have the king here. Rook on e6. I don't know what is the idea of our opponent, so I am just advancing. Rook is cutting the black king. Now literally there are not so many moves that black can play here. Maybe let's advance with the move b4. We are gonna take back. We have again all the time here to prepare something like rook on c6, and I think it's gonna be just complete game over. I don't know, what is the plan for black after the move for rook on c6? Do you see something that black can do here? Yes, I can play the move e4 as well, but I just not sure what happens after rook c6. Is it just a resignation straight away? It looks like that, because black is gonna lose the pawn on b6 next. I think that's it. That's it. Step by step, we are winning the current game. c7 is the next move, so now we will be playing the move c7. There's only one way to stop it. It is to play the move f4. Now we take. We could also play the move bishop a6, but I think it literally does not matter. We have way too many pawns here that are advancing forward. Bishop a6, c8 is next. The game is over. Step by step, step by step. In case you like my comments and you find this kind of streams educational, push the like button and subscribe to our channel here on VChess. Let's go with the next 10-minute game. I'm never selecting opponents, I'm playing whoever comes. So I'm just pushing that 10-minute and that's it. Alright, in case you have some questions, please write them in the chat. Our opponent, no, he quits the game. Let's push again, that 10-minute challenge. Please don't ask in the chat to play, because usually I'm playing just one game per stream against one of our VChess community members. So just be our community member, and for sure one day we are going to play the game. I'm always fair regards who am I playing, because it would be not fair to be selective in the sense of just by some short criteria. There are a couple of people in our VChess community who are very active, always with us, always supporting us, And of course, we try to support them a little bit back. Next game, we have the 4 knights opening with the move knight on d4, one of the main moves. Now with white, we have bishop on c4, we have knight takes d4, and we have the short castle. Everything is possible. Maybe now let's play the move short castle. Let's go. Can you play the Scotch gambit? I don't know what is a Scotch gambit, but I know what is a Scotch. To play Scotch, no problem, yeah. I can play the Scotch with the white pieces. El wanted Spanish. Too many openings at once. Does not work. Black is taking on b5. Well, what is black going to play next? Of course, still, this is a very, very normal position for white. It is usually the move d4 next. So we have the move c6. All right, let's go. I see a question. Can you play the Alien Gambit? I think Alien Gambit is not working because of the Venus defense. So it makes no sense to play the Alien Gambit. It's closed. There is no more Alien Gambit. It is completely it got completely refuted. The Venus defense, and that's it. Game over. Let me continue reading. What else do we have here? Bishop is powerful, then knight. That's a tough one. Not sure. So we have the move bishop e7. White is doing a little bit more active. Black with a bishop pair. These positions are very playable, I think, for both white and black. a4 is a move against the b5 continuation, which could be played. So a4. In most of the cases, it would be normal for black to castle short side. Let's see what our opponent is going to play, because I'm wondering how does he play so well till the current moment, because it is 1a5. Also, he knows very well the theory, which would be very surprising because this is a sideline. Our opponent is playing very, very well for the moment. Queen on d3, the idea is rook f on d1, so we get some pressure here. b6, idea is bishop on a6, this is sort of normal. Now we get the rook away from this pin here. And in case the bishop gets to a6, we have the simple queen on d2. I just don't know, should I put the queen on e3 or to put the queen on d2? Hard to say where the queen is better positioned. I think more or less the same. Maybe on e3, not sure. Okay, let's put the queen on e3. And the main idea for white, it is to get this d5 in the right moment, because after d5 the bishop on e7 is going to be quite poor. So we will see position where eventually pair of knights is going to dominate the pair of bishops. I remember one of the previous streams there been a question, what is better, knight or bishop? And of course it depends when. So bishop pair, how powerful is actually the bishop pair in endgame where position is opened? Yes, bishop pair is very, very powerful, but in a close position sometimes knight is doing better than the bishop. So let's see what is going to happen next, and of course maybe we will be able to see position where pair of knights will be doing better than pair of bishops. Rook on e8, this is quite typical play. Black is putting also all the pieces in the center, so our opponent is playing a good game. I like the way our opponent is putting his pieces currently. Maybe the time has come to play the move d5. Let's double check if this is really the time for it. I think so. I think it does work. Let's go with the move d5. Very interesting move, because I'm trying to get the d5 square for the knight c3. Of course, if black is gonna play the move c5, it doesn't look like a good setup with a e5, d6, c5, b6, a5. We have the square b5 under control. So the idea for white is to take next. And he plays the move c5. This move I don't like. It doesn't look like it's the right response for black in the current position. It's a possible play, but it doesn't look like a great play, and maybe we have now something very beautiful in the current position. Let me calculate before I'm going to tell you, because I am not sure if this move is working, but we have a very, very beautiful move. It might be working, but maybe it is not. Not 100% sure, but the move I'm calculating, let's calculate together a little bit because it's just so beautiful. Knight takes e5, d takes e5 is sort of forced. We go d6. Bishop has to take on d6. We will be taking the knight on f6. G takes f6. Now we get the knight on d5, attacking the queen and attacking the pawn on f6. So there's only queen on d8. And now the problem is that we have this knight here. Try to imagine the position. So the knight is on d5, the queen is on d8. In case we go queen h6, there is rook to e6. And yes, it looks like maybe it is a checkmate, but it looks also like maybe it is not a checkmate, and then I will be just a piece down. So the question is, should we go for something very beautiful, but maybe it does not work, or should we proceed with something very simple and just a better position? And I think my choice is with something simple and better than something complex and might not work, because in case it doesn't, then instead of being better, we will be just completely lost. Too high risk. Too high risk, and this kind of risk-reward ratio is not perfect. I think in case we go with the move knight takes e5, yes, very tempting to take here on e5, but I don't know. I don't feel like it is a move. Maybe also first to play knight on d2 feels very safe, because I still would like to play the move knight on b5. I don't think there is a way to stop it. And maybe we can also switch to the idea b3, knight on c4. It's a little bit more flexible, knight on d2 than knight on b5 immediately, but yeah. Very interesting choice, knight takes e5, but I think maybe it is a matter of choice. Knight on h5, interesting decision by our opponent. Knight goes to h5. Should we put the knight on b5? Is it time for the knight to get on b5? I think it is, because otherwise we will never get there, but there is knight on f4 coming somewhere. I don't like this knight f4. I would like to prevent knight on f4, so maybe to play g3, but then the bishop might go away, and where do I go with my bishop? There is some queen f3. I mean, it's possible to play like that. Maybe g3, yeah. It feels a little bit strange to play the move g3, to be honest, but maybe to play the g3 is not a bad idea, because we keep knight f4 away. So yeah, and g3. So let me see. We have the move h6. Now I am obliged to take, but the only thing I can do is to first play the move knight on b5, but I think it doesn't matter, so I will be taking on e7, and next I will be putting my knight on b5. Oh, it's a mouse slip from our opponent, but okay, what can I do? What can I do? It's a mouse slip, obviously. It's very pity for our opponent, but yeah, that's online chess. That's pity. That's pity. I don't feel good to win like that, but that's a mouse slip. Quite a good game by our opponent. We have to admit, he played a great game, and this is just a mouse slip. Nothing to do, yeah. Okay, I have to play queen f3, and that's it, but I don't feel very good to win games like that. I don't like it personally, but what to do, This is just online chess, and yeah. Queen takes on a3. Our opponent continues fighting in the current position, being piece down. Maybe he's hoping for this bishop c8 to be a little bit back, but it's gonna be very difficult to be back even after bishop on c8, so I think I can just take the pawn if I'm correct. let's take the pawn. There are no mating threats visible, and being a piece up should be enough to win the game. Bean is here. Oh, Bean, welcome back, Bean. How are you doing? Knight on f6, knight on g4 is the idea, and maybe also this queen on d7 somewhere might be dangerous because we might lose the bishop on d6. That's why I think I'm gonna play the move bishop on c7 followed by the move d6, so very, very safe. Once again, we're choosing the safest option to win the game. Bishop on c7, pawn gets to d6, and it is going to be a game over. Alright, alright. In case you have some questions, please don't be shy. Don't be shy. Ask your questions in the chat. In case I see a question, I will be answering your questions. And we have also many good people in the chat. So, there's a question. You like Tiles games or Fisher game? Both. Very good. Hard to say. So yeah, I think the current game is almost over because to recover from position like that is basically impossible. Let me read a question by Abdel Halek. Abdel Halek is saying, I'm 35 years old, rated 1700, 1800 feeded. Do I still have chances to become a GM? I have to disappoint you, but the answer is no. There is no objective chance of becoming a GM. This is not possible. In case, of course, you mean that there are some new feeder rules for GMs that you might win some continental, something small and become a GM. But in case you mean GM of having at least 2500 ELO, because this is the regulation for being a GM, in case you are already 35 years old, 1700, 1800 to become GM is basically impossible. So yeah, sorry to say that, but it is the way it is. Knight on d5. We are getting closer to win the game, but of course our opponent is a big fighter, so that's why I will be playing now a little bit faster. I played quite slow the last couple of moves, so we have now a little time on the clock. Position is completely winning because we have knight takes b6 coming next, knight e7 in case we need to. Queen on c6. He's hoping for this little trick, but I have the move queen on d7 and it is a win in my opinion. Is it immediately a win? No, not immediately, because we still have this knight here. Actually, very unusual to have the knight on d2. I'm not used to that. So, how can we win the current game? We have the move d7, looking not so bad, by the way. Is it just an easy win by playing the move d7? Yes, it is, I think. Okay. Is it enough? d7. We attack the rook. Is there a way to defend the rook? I think difficult to defend the rook here on e8. So rook on e6. Now we play the move d8 and take. Yes, Abdel Halek, most welcome here on VChess. I always try to be very straightforward because I think it is important. It is important to be realistic in your wishes. I think a lot of people are not very realistic in their wishes, and I think they're just very sad afterwards. There are a lot of promises made by a lot of different people, but I prefer to be straightforward. And yes, sometimes it is not the answer that somebody's waiting for, but I think only objectivity is giving us progress. There is no progress without being objective because you're not recognizing your mistakes. So yeah. F5. Wow. Our opponent is fighting like a lion. But I think we can take away a little bit of material from the lion opponent. Let's take on g5. Not so much material left, but our opponent is obviously hoping to win on time. Knight gets into the game. It is decisive now. Knight on e4. Queen is under attack. If queen goes away, we have the check here on d8. Yes, we can give this check on d8, and it's going to be a checkmate very, very soon here. Just to enjoy the game, we can bring the last piece into the game. I like this so much. Of course, we could give a checkmate. I see the move queen f8 check. I also saw the move queen takes g5, but I like when all the pieces are in the game. It looks so visually beautiful. So I usually like this kind of things, like bringing the last piece into the game, even if we have maybe a direct checkmate. Our opponent resigns. There is, yeah, difficult to fight in the current position. So yeah. Quite a logical outcome of the current game. Let's go immediately with the next one. So, who gonna be the next champion according to you, Gukesh or Sindarov? I think Sindarov. To me, it is Sindarov, because he's playing currently way better than Gukesh. This is very objective opinion, so you can check the results of Gukesh, the amount of mistakes Gukesh is doing lately. Sindarov is just playing way better. We have the Caro-Kann defense, so let's play now the Panov attack just to change a little bit our openings. We played a lot of games on e5 in the Caro-Kann. Now we go with a Panov. So, there's a question in the chat. I'm 19 years old, 1650 FIDE. Do I have a chance to become a GM? I think your first step should be maybe try to become 2000, and then you see how it goes, step by step. I play chess. Thank you very much, appreciate. I play chess is saying, hi GM, how you been? Missed your streams. Yeah, I am back. I play chess, I'm back. Couple of days, yeah, I've been not streaming now for 3 days, but now I'm back because I've been moving to a new apartment and I had some internet issue also, so it took a little bit of time to solve all the problems, but now I'm back. And of course, I play chess. Welcome. I play chess. It's with us already for very, very long in our VChess community. Also, I play chess, not a bad chess player. We played already couple of games. Knight takes d5 and bishop on d2, the normal way to defend the knight on c3. Alright. So let's see what happens next. Knight takes. I will be taking with the pawn, of course. And this is the normal way to play the Panov. Now we had isolated pawn, now we're connecting the pawns. This is, of course, the good thing. Bishop is usually perfectly placed on d3. Black has to calculate this bishop takes h7 because black is gonna play short castle in most of the cases. And now we have this bishop takes h7. I don't know if this is working. Knight on g5, followed by this queen h5 idea. It's very funny actually. So we can play it just for fun. I don't know if this is the best idea ever. Maybe it is not. So take. We give a check. There is king on g6. How can I mate the king on g6? Well, maybe there is no checkmate, because in case I go queen g4, there is f5, so this is not a checkmate. How can I deliver a checkmate? There is h4 continuation, but then still check, king f6, check, king f7. Wow. No idea. So let's castle short side. It is just too complex. Bishop takes h7. Yes, it was a possible option, but I did not see how to give a checkmate, so I'm not taking on h7. Alright. So the next who asks a question like, I have 1500 FIDE, and yeah, the guys will be just deleted, and that's it. In case you ask this question again, I can give you an answer. Obviously, you cannot become a GM because You are not very smart. Alright, we have the move h6 on the board, queen on e2, very typical way of playing these positions. We have the move c4, rook fd1, rook a c1 coming next. Alright. This is what white is doing here. With black, it's more complex because the bishop is still on c8. Usually in these positions, already the bishop is on b7, but now there is this queen e4 idea. And obviously the bishop is never getting to b7. Knight on c6, very dangerous. Queen e4, the idea is probably to play the move f5, but poof, it's already on the limit. And we have this idea also like bishop takes h6 somewhere. Let's play the move rook on d1. I never know if I should put rook e1, rook a1, or I should put the rook fd1 and rook on c1. This is something that I never know where to put my rooks. I do it personally quite randomly. Sometimes I put on e1 and sometimes on d1. I do it purely according to the feeling. And yeah, I think in most of the cases it's still 50-50. Sometimes it is correct, sometimes I am just wrong. So this is the way I do that. Is there something like e5 coming next? This is a question. Not sure, but maybe. So we can play the move bishop on e3, looks not bad. e5 might be working, but maybe not. Maybe actually I should have put my rook on e1. Now I made the wrong guess. I guessed the move completely wrong. Yeah, the rook would be way better now on e1. Now maybe I have to play something like bishop on e4 just to avoid this e5 push. And then c4, and the rook will be useful on c1, but I should have gone rook a1, rook e1 now, yeah. This was a mistake, so I made a mistake. Should have kept the rook a bit different, but somehow I didn't think that e5 is such a dangerous threat, but then I thought, let's e5 move, because I think to play e5 usually is very difficult when you have the rook on d1 versus the queen. But sometimes it's possible, so I was not sure if this is working or not working. That's why I played the move bishop e4. Now in most of the cases it is never working because we have the move bishop takes c6. So the idea is to play the move c4 as we planned. Now actually the rook is doing very well here. Rook c1, and we have rook versus queen. Now it's good that I played the move rook fd1. So you see how it goes. One move can change. It can change your opinion. It can change your mood. And a couple of moves ago, you thought you made a mistake. And after the game, you can tell your friends that you predicted you made the right choice. Yeah, it's like in chess, we used to say, first I blundered and then I sacrificed. So exactly the same story here. First you make a mistake and then you think, well, maybe it was alright. This is what is happening quite often, yeah. I think we play the move c5. It looks good to get bishop away from d6, and then we can still consider the move d5, which is looking like a nice decision. And actually, why not to play it? Or maybe we can take and win the pawn on e5, which is also looking like a nice decision. Personally, I like the move d5, such a strong center. I think something like d5, very rarely a mistake. To win the pawn, yes, it's possible, but black is gonna take with the pawn, and then, alright, white is better, long fight. But I think d5 is looking too tempting. Let's go, pawn. Pawn, go, go, go. I see a funny comment in the chat. GMs don't blunder, they sacrifice. Yes, this is what is indeed... Sometimes it's so funny for me to see the interviews of GMs after the game, because sometimes there is not even a word of truth. So it is also funny because, of course, you know that this is not the, I mean, it's not the truth, and in interview you can say whatever you want. Alright, now we have a great moment to push the F button. Boom! Once you see the F, it means there is something that white is capable of doing, very direct, and we have a direct way to win the game, I think. So, try to think for yourself. and write your answer in the chat, please. White to play, white is capable of gaining, in my opinion, decisive advantage here. It is something very, very nice. I will be also double checking my ideas because we already had the case that I pushed the F button and then it was a blunder. So I made a miscalculation. This was terrible. So this time I hope it's not a miscalculation. I will be checking for myself and you should also double check yourself. Please write your answer in the chat. It's a good exercise to think, all right, how to punish my opponent. And I will be playing in the next 10 seconds. So we'll be comparing our answers. All right, for me, the next move is I'm taking on d4 because obviously e takes d4 is a must. There's nothing else. Our opponent fell asleep. What is going on? Okay, he has to take back. There's nothing else that black can do here. And if black takes back, we have this check on h7. Yes, he takes back. Here comes the idea. Check and taking the rook. For those of you who saw this idea, yes, I see a lot of knight takes d4, bishop on h7. Very good. Very, very good. In case you see tactics like that, that's nice. We have really great people here in the VChess community. Great chess players, yeah, what to say. That's great to see. It's not so easy. I mean, it's not, of course, so hard, but it's not so easy to see this kind of things quickly. It means already you are quite sharp, yeah. I see a question. What background music are you using? You don't like the music? I think it's quite calm. Fits good to a chess game. So, our opponent is eating the pawn on c5. How can we eventually finish the game in the fastest way possible? We have this check here, but maybe let's bring first the last piece into the game. For those of you who are watching regularly my streams, you know that I love when all the pieces are in the game, and I would advise to use the same. Get the pieces first, and then think later what is going to happen. Alright, nice to hear that you like the background music. I think it's calm, I think it is relaxing, perfect for a stream. And also here we have a little tactics, I think. By the way, we have different tactics eventually, because I thought I might be playing this move d6 because the pawn cannot be taken. We have this check and we're gonna win the rook, but in case of d6 there is some kind of queen b7, so this is not a win. We have queen e4 check first, and this is what I like. So let's give a check first on e4 because we might be able to take the pawn on d4 next. We have here the pin, and as well the move d6 is looking solid. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now, let's go with the move d6, or queen takes d4, or bishop on f4. So many options. The options is one of the most difficult things in chess. In case you have just one option, you just play it, and that's it. In case you have many options, it makes you sometimes just crazy. So how can we finish the current game? Maybe just to take the pawn, because why not to take the pawn in case we can't take the pawn? As Kasparov was always saying, a chess player has to be greedy. So, in case we're greedy, we're doing something right. Let's take the pawn. And that's it. In case we don't know what to do, let's just be greedy. And by the way, it's not a bad advice. Very, very often, in case you have multiple ways where you feel you're getting quite big advantage, usually the material advantage is the best one. So our opponent is going for this endgame. It looks like a spectacular sacrifice, but in fact it's not very spectacular because this endgame is just close to winning for white. Next we should be... by the way, I can take the pawn also here. in case I want. Maybe also d6 is looking like a right play, but there is this bishop d6, bishop e5 check, and he takes the pawn. So we have to be a little bit cautious in the current position. I like the move bishop f4, looks very good. Let's go. Because I would like to put my bishop just on c7, get this d6. I believe this should be enough to win the game. He is so greedy and so fearless. I don't know, is he more greedy or more fearless? Let's take a look what is gonna happen after the move d6, because the pawn might be just becoming a queen very soon. Let's see. Is there something else except bishop on d7? I don't think so. We put the rook on the 7th rank. Never a bad idea to have the rook on the 7th rank. And okay, let's just take the pawn. Probably I had something better than the current move, but it is enough. So we don't search something good from the beta. Let's just take simple solutions to win the current game. Now, is there something black can do in the current position? I see nothing. So let's go maybe first with the move bishop on g3. I'm getting ready for this kind of adventure. Maybe even rook c7 is good. To change the bishop would be also a good idea. So we have again multiple ways of proceeding in the current game. I think rook on c7, well positioned. And now maybe this idea is coming next. Let's see. Let's see. Looks very, very safe, but maybe I'm missing something. So let's first put the rook on d2. With the move g5, he's advancing a little bit, but what is happening in case of bishop on f2? Maybe he would like to go here, and I just play something safe. The pawn might be falling. Is it not just a winning position, or do I miss something? Let's calculate a little bit, because there is some kind of bishop b4 and I'm not like 100%. It's like almost 100%, but it's not completely 100%. So maybe let's go here first, just to guarantee that I have this bishop on f2, because I don't like this bishop on b4, and now the pawn is just going to fall. So I execute the same idea, just in a bit different way. Now we play the move bishop on f2 as we planned. Changing the bishop is a good idea. So take. Now we just come back, and the next we have this pawn on b6, which will be try to win f5. He's very aggressive, by the way. Not a bad play by our opponent, not bad at all, because somehow he's still in the game, and it looks like completely lost position for black, but he is fighting so well. He is a big fighter, and he's advancing here with the pawns, which I don't enjoy at all, but maybe we will be able to find solution now. Next with the move rook on e2 and rook on e7. Maybe it's gonna be decisive. If not, it's still a lot of play here on the board. So can I go rook on e2 followed by the move rook on e7? Is there a defense for black in the current position, or it is immediately over? I have to go here. A little trick by the guy. Such a tricky guy, by the way. What is this? What is that? Can I play this? Oh, no. What did I do? This was terrible. I completely missed the next move by black. This was terrible. What a bad move. I did a terrible mistake. Yeah, now the pawn is falling. What a bad move. This is terrible. Sometimes I'm playing so poorly. So bad. Oh, this is just terrible. So I have to play something like rook on c6, because there is no way to save the pawn otherwise. Yeah, this was unbelievably bad. Now I hope to get the pawn. So I'm taking the pawn. Now next I will be targeting. I don't know what I will be targeting. There is not so much that I can target here, except waiting a little bit. So let's give a check. He's so safe, unbelievably safe player, and he's playing extremely well. Strange, very strange, because so slow. This is what is very irritating, because very unusual to be so slow in this kind of position. Obviously, Black cannot lose the current position, but why is he taking so much time before playing a move? I have no idea. Because you can do like any move, but every move he's taking 3-4 seconds, which is making not much sense in my opinion, because why to do that? What is the idea behind it? Okay, all we need to do is to keep on playing, because every move is literally for the guys 3-4 seconds, which is hard to understand, because why every move takes 3-4 seconds? Every move, literally every move 3-4 seconds. So very strange. Okay, in the end we are winning, but he played extremely good the endgame, which not very expected. Before it was an easy game, but starting here it looks like a win, but he plays so well. King h7, good move. G5, good move. Then he's not afraid to change the bishops, which is strange, because it looks like I'm changing, but he's in time to play f5, also good move. G4, good move. G3, very strong, because in case I go king on h3, there is this king on g5 now. I think might be working, not sure, because I still have this rook e7, but there's so many tricks with the king on h3, and there's also this f4 now, by the way. Of course, after there's f4 straight away, and rook h7, rook h8 checkmate. So yeah, he played... This was terrible. This is a terrible blunder by me, but he played extremely good game. Extremely good game. And what is super strange is 3-4 seconds every move, 3-4 seconds every move. Okay, in the end we are winning on time, not deserved, because the position is obviously a draw here, but our opponent is playing always 3-4 seconds per move, so what can I say? In case he does 3-4 seconds every move, obviously we will be winning the game. As simple as that. He has just a couple of seconds on the clock. He does this 3-4 second stuff every move. We are winning. So I think there's been a request for the King's Indian, and let's go with the King's Indian. Let's go. So we have the King's Indian defense or King's Indian attack. Officially, I think it is called a defense, but I don't know why, because I think to call it attack is the better way. The positions are usually so interesting, with great play for both. Let's go with the move h6, attack the bishop. Let's see where the bishop is going. Now bishop goes to e3. So maybe let's proceed with the move e5, because the bishop is on e3. After the move e5, we might have the move knight on g4 coming somewhere. Not immediately, but like an idea, we could have played also the move knight on g4 before, but then white would go bishop on d2. So now we play the move e5. Our opponent is taking his time to think, to consider the next options, and indeed, white has quite many options in this position. The usual option is to castle short side or to play the move d5. This is normal, what we see in most of the games. There's d takes e5 option, but personally I'm not a big fan of that, but it's also playable, so nothing wrong with that. Let's see what our opponent is going to choose next. All we need to do is to wait a little bit, and yeah. So let's see. We have the short castle, and let's go with the move knight on g4 as promised. Knight on g4, quite good, because we attack the bishop. Now the bishop has to go back, so he did this. Bishop g5, bishop e3, bishop c1. Actually, it's not so bad. It looks horrible, but it's not so bad. It is very, very playable for white. So to do something like this is a possible continuation. It is not a mistake. Now with black we have also many options here. With the black pieces we can proceed this, proceed that. I will try maybe to play the move queen e8, a bit unusual move, queen on e8. I think there's e takes d5 like the normal continuation, but queen e8 is not bad because we keep this kind of very, very complex position here. And let's see what is going to happen next. Take, we will be taking, of course, now with the pawn because the rook gets to d8. So he attacks the knight, can go back, this is alright. And I believe black is having here quite a good position. c5 is a little threat, but again, to call it a threat is maybe overstatement. It is a little dangerous, but it is not like super dangerous. Let's get knight on h5 and knight to f4. So pretty standard play by both of us, I think. As you know, in the structures of the King's Indian, knight f4 followed by knight e6 is very important. In case we can get the rook on d8 with a tempo, yes, I will be doing that, but we have to be sure that we have this tempo. There is this kind of knight on d5 somewhere, so usually we have to play c6 first before doing all of that. Should we go with the move knight f4? I think we should, because first of all I would like to check, do you want to take? No, he does not want to take. So we have the move knight on e6, or we keep the knight on f4, which is also absolutely fine. And we play something like the move c6. So I like the move c6, because no more knight on d5. And in theory we keep this option. Oh, I wanted to say somewhere knight c7, knight e6, but it would be bad because of bishop c5. Now he plays the move c5. I'm not sure that this is a good move. c5 is very dangerous in my opinion for white, because it does not help much. Bishop takes a6 is not really a dangerous play for black here. And maybe I have even something like bishop on e6 very quickly to get the rook on d8 and to start pushing, which is not a bad option. And I have the calm option knight c7, knight e6, which is also looking pretty good for black. We have to decide which option should we choose here next. Maybe also option of knight e6 is not bad, because how to defend a pawn on c5? There's only queen on d6, but queen d6 is again normally not the best. What should we play next? Bishop takes a6, dangerous, not really dangerous, but little dangerous. What should we do? Let's go with the move knight c7. I don't know. Feels safe, feels normal. We bring the knight to a little bit better position here. On c7, knight will join the other knight. Maybe somewhere. Next, we might play bishop e6 first. We might play knight e6. We might play other knight e6. Queen on d6. Very unusual play by our opponent, because yes, it is very aggressive play, but usually white is not putting queen on d6 in most of the cases. So let's see what happens. Maybe he wants to win the pawn on e5. Oof. This is tough play by our opponent. Maybe if it's possible, it is a great play, but not sure, but maybe. Okay, what should we do here? Maybe knight on b5. Looks safe. Looks like a safe option. Knight on b5. I think we have quite an interesting position, and it is a position which is very difficult to be evaluated here. Who is doing actually better? Maybe it is white, maybe it is black, because all is possible. Obviously he has to take, so this is sort of forced. And maybe he wants to take. But I don't know if this is good or bad. This is a question. He would like to play knight c7. Of course, I saw that. But we will be taking the pawn on b2, so we will have some serious ideas there. We have the easy move queen on d8 now. Let's go maybe with the queen on d8 first. Or should I put the queen on d7? I don't know. Let's go queen on d8 first. This bishop is a monster, so e5. Interesting option, but is it a good option? Bishop pair versus knights, but knights are doing very well there at the moment. So let's go with the move g5, I think, or should I take first? And then to play g5. How is this endgame? Difficult to say, but a little bit dangerous for black in my opinion. Maybe g5 first. Next couple of moves are extremely important. Knight on c7, so in case I go here, he would like to take, or what is the idea of our opponent? We can also sacrifice the exchange, it's not so bad by the way, but I think I will play rook b8. Wow. This is surprising because he lets me get out, and the bishop pair on a long run is gonna be just so powerful. I can also try something very tactical here. I don't know how it's gonna end. Maybe an interesting idea, by the way. Let's push. Let's push the move g4. Let's play a little bit more funny game. Not 100% sure that it is working. Maybe I should not have done it, but it looks very interesting because once position is going to be opened, bishop pair is gonna crush. I need a little bit of more activity, and in case I get it, bishop pair, you will see what bishop pair is gonna do to the white's position. But question is, of course, will I get a chance to be active? And then next couple of moves are going to show us if there is a way to be very active here. Let's see. Knight on h2. So we can get active like that, or we can move the bishop on e6 in both ways. I think bishop h5 also interesting. Okay, I think we're doing well. Now it feels like a good position here for black. We have to decide hard push or to keep the bishop pair on the board. Maybe first to play the move. I don't know, also this is looking good. Many good moves currently. I like maybe first to play bishop h5. I don't know. I'm not so sure about this move. But I think we are doing well because d1 is under control. And knight is not doing so well now. In case he takes this endgame, I think black is completely out of risk. This can be only better for black in my opinion. Okay, objectively speaking, should be equal. But I think black is out of risk with the bishop pair. And probably there is nothing better for white than to take here. Because what else? What else can be done? So we are completely back here. I will be taking, alright. Knight gets to d6, obviously. We play the move rook on d7. We would like to play rook on e7 or rook on c7, then b6, and we will be opening the position. It will take a little bit more time to open the position, then black bishops are going to dominate the game. I believe it should be approximately equal by the feeling. Maybe I can go rook on e7, or there is this knight f5 coming. I will be taking knight h7. Knight h6 is bad, so there's a check, but it's alright. So I go here. Now the e5 pawn might be falling already. Let's see. If the pawn is going to fall, it is again probably still approximately equal, but slowly we are taking over. Let's see what happens next, but I think now black is out of danger of being worse. And the next step is to take over, to be slightly better. For that I have to play quicker. I'm playing way too slow because I'm trying to comment on the game. So I will have to play a little bit faster. Our opponent is taking his time before playing the next move, and of course he's correct, because not so easy to play the next move. E5 is under attack. How to defend the pawn on E5? This is the first question that he has to solve in case he goes back. This is not the right direction to go. So how to defend the pawn on E5? Not an easy task. Let's see how our opponent is going to act here. He's taking now very long thought, so it means usually that he does not like his position too much. Okay, let's put the rook on d8. I don't know why he goes back. This feels weird. By the feeling to go back is just not the right way to play for white. It's not a play for a win, it's more like a play to lose the game. Because to go back, you are not risking to lose. You're not risking to win, and feels. Of course, the game goes on, everything can happen. But what I mean is, it's like you have bad feeling usually when you're going back. Now, let's try to get the pawn on e5 first, and then we think what we do next. I think I have to take the knight because there's nothing else, or we can try to dominate the d file. Maybe this is more interesting. I can take the knight and it's gonna be a draw, but I think let's play something more interesting. Feels weird and feels also dangerous, but I think it is an interesting position, so it's not like one-sided here. Bishop pair is bishop pair, especially when the position is open. It's a mighty power. Rook on e4. He tries to hold the things. Is it gonna work? Can he do that? Maybe a good play here by our opponent, but let's see, let's see. Yeah, I don't see how I can play this position for a win. So I think it's time for black to think about how to make a draw here. So how can I make a draw here? Maybe it was a simple move like king f8 just to get a little bit closer. Actually, I should not have done this move. Yes, this is a very bad move. Every time I try to play something normal, it's getting horribly wrong. I don't know why I cannot play something normal in a normal position. I try to play and then it's getting just so bad. Okay, now I have to take and I have to take, and we're gonna defend this kind of no rook endgame. Wow, why he doesn't take the bishop? I'm very surprised because he should have taken, of course, the bishop. So I see Forrest, thank you very much for your support. After the game I will be answering the question. Till then I have to focus here a little bit on the game because the guy is so fast. Can you see how fast the guy is? Wow, he plays the move so quick. Let's play the move rook on d3. What a fast player. He's lucky to have this rook on d1. Such a luck, because he didn't see that, but he is just lucky to have it. Okay. Now we are in trouble. I have to play something like b6, but looks bad. Oh, it was so bad. Next, I mean, the previous moves, it was so horrible what I did, because such an easy position on the board and I made such a bad decision. Knight on c4. Wow. Okay, I have to go here. He plays fantastic now. Okay, I have to play here. Yeah, but he plays unbelievably good, and he is crushing us. Yes, we have to resign. Okay, let's resign. But this was a big mistake by me, and now he's not playing us anymore. This is... no, he does. Okay, let's play one more game because this was strange, and let's play one more game. Forrest is saying, always a joy to be able to catch a stream. Best education chess content on YouTube. Yeah, thank you very much, Forrest. Thank you very much for your support. By the way, who do we play? Who is this? Never heard of him. Very strange. Very strange game. Let's play another game. Because sometimes he played not so good, but sometimes he played fantastic just. So let's see how he is going to play the next games. So we can be sure against who we are actually playing. Let's go with the move h4. So bishop on a6. This is normal. Okay, let's play with taking here first, and then we play with the move h5. h6. Alright, now I think queen g4 is one of the main lines, but I don't remember exactly. But okay, let's play just something. And then let's see. Let's see if we have a chance against this person. If we don't, well, then we just don't play him anymore. Let's fight a little bit against surprisingly strong opponent. I don't know. Should we go rook h3? Idea is to get the pieces here. And not to allow the guy to castle longside, because after castling longside, it's getting tricky. Knight f5, but what is the idea after queen f4? What is the plan to defend from g4? Or there is no plan, because he plays so quick. Like, instant play. And what is the instant idea? There is g4 coming next. How to defend against g4? Very strange. This is very strange, because when you play something like knight f5, you must be seeing what you do next. And okay, I understand he wants to go g5 now. We have this queen h2 and rook f6. And I don't know what is going on the board. Is it good or is it bad? Let's see, let's see. Long castle, interesting. So I have to play something like queen on g3, because this queen, because this knight f3 is looking so dangerous. Rook on g6, so this is not rook df8, but this is rook on g6. Very strange play, because I think why not to get the rook into the game? Why to play rook on g6 first? This is strange. Can we go with the move f4 and then just to take the pawn on g5? Is it working? I don't know. I don't know if it does. Maybe it does, but there is some kind of queen h7. Take. Oof. So difficult to say how to evaluate the position. I think we should try. Let's go with the move f4. This is such a crazy play here. Let me see the chat. What is going on in the chat? So let's see. Okay. I will read later. No time to read now. We're facing some extremely tough opponent. Also queen on g7, like very unusual way of playing. But alright, what is happening in case we are going away with a rook? This kind of rook g7, queen g7 is not looking too good, I think. So let's go back. Knight on h4 is not doing much. This is good. Next, what should be next? Maybe something like this? And taking g5? Maybe. Maybe we can also try to sacrifice a pawn here, but I'm not so sure that we should. Rook on f8. He has no mercy to us. So maybe bishop a3, but usually it's not the good square to put the bishop. This is a problem. I don't like to put the bishop there. But maybe there's just nothing better I can do, so I should put the bishop there. To take is not good. Knight on g1. It is possible, but I feel scared because somewhere we are gonna get some sacrifice and we just will be resigning. So I think I should be play this bishop a3. I don't like to put the bishop there. The bishop belongs somewhere here, but just too dangerous. So let's play the move bishop on a3, attacking the rook. Take, take. Let's see what happens next. We would like to get this done. If this happens, I think white will be doing just way better. But of course, so many options here for black. Main problem is the knight on h4. He plays queen on d7. Maybe the idea is knight on a5. Is this the idea for our opponent? Maybe, not sure. So I think I will be playing the knight f6 idea. Looks logical. Let's see what happens next. And he's ignoring my ideas. Why is he ignoring? I don't know. I don't know why he is just putting the rook under attack. Is it like good? So weird. Why to put the rook under attack and now you have like only one option is to play queen d8, but why to do that? This is so weird. I don't know why our opponent is doing something like this. It makes no sense. Before he played amazing game and all the moves are just perfect. Now we see something that is just shocking. Because it's not because it's so bad, it's because it makes no sense. To give a tempo, to put a queen on d8 after that, now you have this bishop g5 coming next. Why to do that? Black had a absolutely normal position, not to say maybe black been even doing slightly better maybe at some point, I don't know. It was looking like super interesting and very unclear. Now we have rook on g7. What is the idea? In case I take, what is the guy doing? He wants to take, he wants to take, knight takes e5, this is clear. So he's gonna suck, I'm gonna play king on d2. Is there a chance for black with being a piece down? I see zero chances, to be honest. So I think this is just a game over in case we're not blundering something. And I don't see what we're blundering. The problem is that we don't need to take. And of course, we can play now any move of our choice. We're doing now almost winning, I would say. We have this a5 continuation, which is also good. We can play literally anything we like, but in case we can take the pawn, we should be taking the pawn, because why not to take the pawn? And I think we can. So I think I will be going for it, because I don't see a defense in this position. And basically, if there is no defense, this position is just winning for white. So I'm very confused about the play of our opponent, because he plays last game fantastic, this game some moves understandable, some others completely don't. So yeah, all right, now that we took the pawn on g5, I think we are very close to win the game, because what is there to do for black in the current position. It's like rook takes, I think, the only way of playing. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know what I'm missing. So we can expect black to take. We're gonna take there, and there's no obvious counterplay. The rook is doing badly. He's gonna sacrifice on e5, but it's not saving the game. So I don't know. He takes. Of course, he's gonna sacrifice. No, he does not gonna sacrifice. All right, no problem for us. Rook on g8, rook h8 is the idea, but it is not helping too much to black here. We can put the king on f2. I think the king is gonna take pretty safe position there. There are no threats, there is no nothing, so I think I'm gonna play the move king on f2. It feels very good to have the king here. I guess we will see the move rook on h8 because there is just nothing else. And just go back. I can also play the move queen g5. Also, this is looking just like a win. I think there is no defense, so we are winning, but why not to play queen on g3? I literally see no counterplay here whatsoever for black. There's not even a single check here. Queen on e7, what could be the idea of our opponent? I don't know. I just don't know. We can go like that. Is it not just a win? Because he would like to go knight e7. Okay, now I see what he wants. At least I understand his idea. Okay, so how can we prevent all the tricks here? How can we do that? We can play this king on g2, very safe, by the way. But I don't like to change the rooks because sometimes a pawn might be running through, so we should be careful. It's still not like we are winning with doesn't matter what we play, so maybe let's play the move a5, but it is a win, but I don't like playing moves like that. This is not a clean win, and of course I would prefer much more to win in a clean way. So how can I do that? How can I do that? Not so easy. It's strange, but it's not so easy. Okay, let's get the king first here. I know how to win the current position, but it's not so easy. I thought it's gonna be way easier than that. But okay, we have to fight a little bit in the current position. We will be closing the line with a knight, so I just bring my pieces into the game, and it doesn't matter where he put his queen. This is not important because we can play simple move rook f2, defending the pawn, and next we can always close the file. So he tries to bring the knight. All right, okay. Let's play this one. And now these tricks are starting. We have to be cautious with the tricks. I think I should play something like this first, just to avoid all these tricks. If we can avoid the tricks, the game is going to be over, but there are a couple of tricks here for black, so the knight is also out of the game, so we will be doing winning here, but we have to avoid all the tricks. And yes, he's going for all these nasty tricks. Let's play this one. We have to fix the queen, and then we're gonna win the game. But it's not so easy. Not so easy. This move is looking like a winning move, but he is avoiding that. Yes, makes sense. Now Oh, there is some kind of knight on e3 coming. Oof. Almost missed it. Let's go here. And let's put the rook to g3, so there will be no tricks. Is there objective chance to survive in this position for black? Of course not, but we have to play good here with the white, because in case I blunder something, then we will be doing poorly. I can play this one. No, I cannot. So many tricks by the guy. This is amazing. This is just amazing. Such a tricky guy. Okay, let's play this one. I cannot win a completely winning position. What is going on here? Cannot find a win. It's super strange, but I cannot find the win, but very, very strange everything about the current game, because we had a completely winning position and he played so poorly, cannot guess a move, and now he is just crushing us. This is extremely strange. So this is the last game against the current opponent, because it is just too strange. I don't like when everything is super weird. So let's go here. Does it work? We have to be cautious. No, why didn't play here? So bad. I could have gone there, would be immediately game over. Now I don't know. Now I don't know what is the current position that we have here. Is it good? Is it bad? Maybe we're still good. Maybe we are losing here. Probably we are losing on time. No, I'm lost. I didn't see the move b5. That's it. Probably we are losing the current game, but okay, let's see. Maybe it is still a draw. Let's see. The next couple of moves will be deciding the game here. Oh, he goes away. I didn't see that. Oh, that's bad. What did I do? Oh, no, I'm losing. This is so bad. I didn't see this move at all. This is horrible. Still a crazy position here on the board. Why I didn't go rook h8 just to mate him in one move? This is amazing, so bad. Now I just lost the tempo and still it is I don't know who is doing better here. Maybe white is winning, but so little time on the clock, so I'm not sure. So I have to give a check. Another check. Another check. Another check. Now we take the queen. So, just couple of seconds. Oof. What a win. I don't know. Okay. Strange game. Not very high level. To be honest, big mistakes on both sides. Little strange. Okay, let's play another game, but little strange everything in this game. I don't know. I don't know. Crazy game, of course, but little strange everything. Okay, let's play another. In case you like this kind of games, like and subscribe, but it was not the highest level game ever. Crazy game, yes, but not very high level game. Okay, so now we have the Queen's Gambit on the board. Let's go with the move h6. Bishop on a f4. Let's go with the move g5, just for fun to see where he goes. And knight on h5. So the idea is to take the bishop. Now we are taking the bishop and we play the move bishop on g7. This is the idea of the line. Queen on c2. Is it a good play? I think it is. Our opponent is, I don't know who it is, but he plays extremely well. So for example, our opponent, I'm sure it is at least international master or a grandmaster, but or he is or something wrong with the guy. Two options, because he plays, for example, it's a rare line, he knows a rare line. I don't know. Super strange, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's go with the move knight on b6 just to see what he is going to play next. Thank you very much for the support in the chat. I've been not reading at all what is going on because so focused. When I have a couple of seconds on the clock, I'm usually doing extremely poor. So I tried to play as solid as I could, having just a couple of seconds. I see in the chat, looks like a GM. Yes, I think he is a GM. So we have two options, or it is anonymous GM, which is possible. Or he is using some help, because there is no other option. But some moves are really weird. From some moves are very logical, but some moves are so weird that he does. So I don't know. I don't know. Feels like very strange player. Okay, in the current position, these endgames are approximately equal. Let's say in most of the cases, white should not go for an endgame. White should keep the queens on the board to play g4. This, he thinks it's good because of the endgame, but in fact it's not very good. So our opponent is, let's say, not very high level player. This is for sure, because he is not knowing this kind of things. He thinks that by playing g4 and getting the knight here, he's doing better, but he is not. So this is a mistake by our opponent. Only thing that there is this trick with the move. I saw that I have knight on d6, but he might have this. I play rook g8 and he takes, or what? No, he cannot. So I think I am able. Let's think again. Let's think again, not to blunder something. It would be terrible just to blunder something once again in one move. So we have to defend from the move knight f5. but it is not dangerous by itself. So all we need to do is to get the knight on d6 to have a beautiful position. How can we do that? So knight h5, the rook on g8. He wants to double, and that's alright. Okay, let's go with the move knight on d6. I think I am not mistaken here. All we need to do is to make one more move to be extremely good here with the black pieces. But let's see if I have time for this one move. My idea was to play rook on g8, because I don't see how he can stop me from playing, for example, knight e4 next. And in case I play the move knight e4 in this position, or king e7, for example, next, this is not going... King c2, like what? He's not even defending. No, but what is that? I saw it all the time, alright, there is this kind of knight e4, this rook h3 idea, and so on and so on and so on, but he doesn't even think about it. This is a bit unusual, let's call it like that. Let's call it softly. Do we have king e6? No, we have king on e7, which is normal, and we have this knight on e4, which is looking like a good move, because I don't know where he wants to go after knight on e4. What is a move by white in this position? Next we just get this, and it looks like a perfectly fine position here for black, but we can also go king on e7. I like this more. Let's go first king on e7. So we are doing fine. I would like to move my bishop to f8, and then I have this rook on g6, but the guy's playing also ultra fast. Zero hesitations in a position where, I don't know, I would think for sure what to do next. Knight on d2. He allows me also to play this move f5. He wants to take, but then I have knight h4. I don't know, should I go with the move f5? No, black is fine, this is for sure. But maybe we can even try to be better than fine. Let's go with the move f5, let's take, because the king gets... He's not afraid of knight h4, which is, again, very unusual. A little bit strange. I don't know. Very unusual play by the guy. I don't know what to say. Very strange decisions. So what can we do now with the king here? Well, should we go bishop f6? He would like to play there. We are gonna take. He takes. Not the best eventually, but maybe it's completely alright. I think we are fine. Let's go. Bishop f6. f5. Wow. Every move comes as a surprise for me. I would never guess the move f5. And of course I would never play the move f5. Makes to me no sense at all. Maybe this first here. Okay, let's go king f7 first. Why to play the move f5? I thought rook f1 or something, but why to play the move f5? Okay, let's get the rooks into the game. Next we'll play this one. Rook f1. What is the idea of rook f1? I don't know. Let's play here. Okay, but he does not want to take there. So let's play, or he wants to go knight e5, maybe. Okay, I can take c5, is also perfectly okay, so let's take c5. He's playing also ultra fast. I don't know. I don't know what is going on with our opponent, I don't know who it is, and I don't know what he's playing. I would never guess this kind of... b3, what? No, but we will check after the game. You can check it for yourselves. If b3 is the first line of the engine, we're playing 100% in engine. This move is making literally no sense. This move is completely making no sense, not even a little bit of sense. So if this is the first line of engine, then we're playing 100% an engine. No human would ever play the move b3 because it is so bad that nobody would ever play it. So you can check it for yourself. If we are facing an engine, now let's go with the move rook c8, because now we would like to play c4, cd, bishop gets to b4. I mean, what a move to make this square weak, and before he's pushing all the time quickly. No, but I don't understand what is going on in this game, because f6 just to make the pawn forever weak. This kind of play is making no sense. So this is for sure last game that we're playing against the current opponent, because it makes no sense to play this guy, or I don't know what is he doing, or he just cannot play chess at all. Play b3. This is impossible play for a human. No way. I mean, like, zero chance to play this. So yeah, I don't know. Let's go now with the move bishop b4, probably. Okay, and if I give a check, what happens? He wants to go here. Plays just knight down, but it doesn't matter. That's the thing. Okay, I have to check the guy. And I have to play probably. Or maybe it's already doesn't matter what I play, because I am lost. Okay, I don't know what is that, but okay. Michelle, I see, saying b3 was second move of engine. Okay, so we're playing, if the b3 is second move of engine, so it's 100% we're playing engine, not 99 but 100%, because b3 is absolutely making no sense from human point of view, like zero sense move. The same with move knight on g7. Why and where do you go? Yeah, okay, we have no chance. I will resign during the next couple of moves, because it's clear that we have no chance. So what to do? If b3 is the second move of engine line, that's it. We will be not playing this guy ever again. He is 100% not playing fair, because b3 is impossible move from every perspective, because it makes just no sense. What to do? What to do? Rook on b5. Why to play that? What happens in case I take? I don't understand, like, any of his moves. It's like I cannot predict even one single move by the guy, because now after playing 100 first line moves, and now he's doing something that it makes absolutely no sense, because there is this kind of check, and I don't understand. Okay, this is the last game against the guy, because it is sort of impossible play. Sometimes he plays unbelievably good moves, like 10 in a row. Then he plays something that makes like 1800 player would do that maybe. So this kind of level difference by every move he does, this is crazy. This is crazy. Now he's thinking, what should I do with the knight? It feels like he did not see that the knight is under attack, or no idea. Literally no idea. So last game against the guy, and we move on. This is too strange. So let me read the chat. So yeah, what to do, yeah. Last game against the guys, and we'll move on, because this is not a play of a GM, and some moves he is just completely outplaying me. So now, for example, Naiditsch 5. What is Naiditsch 5? Why do you put your knight on a square where there's not literally as one single move that you can do with your knight? Why to do something like that? What is the idea behind it? D5? What? I can mate the guy in 2 moves. Or not? Check and checkmate. No, but okay, we're playing against such a guy. Look at that, now he blunders, mate in 2 or what? Okay, it's not mate in 2, but mate in 3. Okay, this is unbelievable. But like, no way. He plays before the best moves all the time. Now he is just receiving a checkmate here in the middle of the board. No way. Like, impossible. Zero chance. Zero chance that something like this can happen. Absolutely zero chance. Okay, this is a complete joke. He plays 10 best moves in a row, then he cannot see in one move a checkmate, having 5 minutes on the clock. I mean, this is not serious. I mean, unbelievable. Because I told you immediately after the first game, something is wrong with the guy. And now we can be 100% sure what is wrong with the guy. This is incredible. But who is this guy? Just to check. Okay, I don't care what is the guy. Let's not lose time on people like that. We put him into blocks so we never play him again, and that's it. Because this is a joke. I mean, this kind of play, like Knight H5, to put your knight in a position where it has no moves, and to play the move D5, which is horrible. Because, okay, this is impossible for a player that we played before. Look at his game before, unbelievably good play, and in the first game, unbelievably good play sometimes. Sometimes a blunders, and again 10 moves, unbelievably good play. Come on. I mean, what a guy. What a guy, yeah. Okay, there's nothing we can do except playing the next game, enjoying this beautiful game of chess. And yes, we know we had a lot of these cases already. So, not the first time, not the last time. Now we have Swiss fighter who doesn't want to play us. Just interesting, who is Swiss fighter? Gabriel Gewiller. Never heard of this guy. And he seems to be, I am, okay, afraid. He is afraid of playing us. We got too scary. So, let's go with the next game. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And after the current game, I will be playing one of you. Let me check the statistics. And after the current game, one of you, one of our VChess family chess friends. I hope that you guys are here. Number 1 in the list, let me read. It is Forest. Forest, make some noise if you hear me. And of course, in case you like to play some game, Forest, long-term supporter of our streams. Forest, please, if you are here, write something, and please tell us your account name, because I forgot. We already played, but I forgot your account name. We have the move F4. By the way, let's proceed with playing the current game a little bit. Let's play in the center with the move F5. Maybe Forest already not with us. That's pity. That's pity. Forest, long-term supporter of VChess. Okay. So, Forest not here. The second in the list today is Grand Miner. Grand Miner, you're number 2 in the list. And again, we are always fair, so we go down the list. No, nothing here. Grand Miner, please, if you are here, I know that Grand Miner is usually not shy, so Grand Miner is not a guy to hide. This for sure. Knight on f3. So usually we should be able to get out the bishop, and in most of the cases here the position is fine for black because we get out the bishop. The question is bishop g4 or bishop to f5. Both is looking pretty normal. I don't know, maybe bishop on f5. Let's go with that. Grand Miner also not anymore. Forest is here. Yes, Forest. I see you, Forest. Excellent. Forest is with us. Rematch. Yes, Forest. Rematch this time. Excellent. Forest is with us. Forest. Also, Sai is here, by the way. Sai, welcome. Long time don't see. Sai, how are you doing? Let's go with the move e6. As you can see, we have this kind of Caro-Kann structure, but we have the bishop on f5, which is a beautiful Caro-Kann because Caro-Kann, bishop c8. This is the main problem. Now we have the bishop out, so it should be a good Caro-Kann. Forrest have to say his account, please, Forrest, and after the game, challenge me immediately. No time to waste. Immediately, please. Knight on h3, what is that? What is our opponent doing? I'm gonna take the knight. And I'm gonna take the bishop. And I'm gonna do short castle next. And look at this pawn structure here. What is that? It was a self-destruction of the own pawn structure. I've been doing... It's not my work. It's like he destroyed himself. A little bit strange. So we are playing this b6, a7. Next, rook c8. Next, queen c7. So big pressure. Big pressure here. Sai is saying, hey GM, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, Sai. Avocado is saying, where I on the list? Are you sure? Very ambitious Avocado we have here in the chat. Okay. So we have the move c4. c4 of course is correct, but we can get our knight here on d5, or we play first knight on f5, then we take with the queen on d5, which is also looking like not a bad move. So should we take simple solution? I think simple is good. So we take, queen is gonna take. We get immediately the rook on the c file, and now the combo knight and knight is going to be very dangerous long term against the white king. You don't feel it for the moment probably, but you will see. The thing is that we know that knight and queen is a perfect combo once you try to attack your opponent's king. Knight and queen. This is the deadly combo. So what we should do is to change one pair of knights, and then we see how we get to the white king. We can do it instantly by playing knight on d4, but it's sort of pity because we have this knight still waiting on h6, so I think I should bring the knight into the game, or to change the knight first and then bring the knight into the game. Either way, we have to bring the knight into the game. So, how should we play here? Maybe immediately. Knight f5. Knight can get now to the beautiful square on d5. Knight d4 is possible. Our opponent, he is thinking that he can change everything and make a draw. Well, it's not gonna be an easy draw even after changing all the pieces, and perhaps we have this queen on d5. Queen takes a2 idea. Let's go, queen d5. The little pawn on a2 is under attack, so yeah. Let's see. Hadi says, Mr. Naiditsch, I think you need a lot of calories after the 3 matches. Hadi, as a chess player, you know, back then we had this long time control, and I remember the toughest game I have ever played. It was, I think, against Morozevich. It was in the Russian chess league, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, approximately. And I remember I've been defending a very bad endgame, and we played, I think, more than 8 hours straight. So 8 hours chess game, because it was this long time controls of 2 hours 40 moves, 1 hour more, and then you have 1 hour more. So it was 8 hours, and I was so close to make a draw defending this kind of worse endgame. Finally, I lost the game, and I thought, okay, what a day. I'm defending for 8 hours. Finally, I lose the game. I'm completely exhausted. I have to play the new game tomorrow. I said, wow, what a day, yeah. So, Forrest is saying, I'm like anti-Nepo and just play bad moves slow. Yes, Forrest, you are correct. In case you play good moves quick, that's all you need. This is true. So, let's see what is gonna be the next move of our opponent. It feels like he's thinking no. So, our opponent, what is happening to him? Played so quick earlier, and now we are waiting. What a change. So, till we are waiting, till the next move of our opponent. Indeed, I had a lot of long games back then. We played the long time controls, so for example, to have a game of 6 hours, it was pretty normal. In case you've been playing a game of 60, 70 moves, basically you had a game of 6 hours, yeah. Back then this was much tougher. Now the time controls are quicker, so it is a bit easier. But back then, yeah, the very long games. Bishop on a1, defending the pawn on a2. But what is the point of that? Because I think we can give a check eventually, and maybe we can take the pawn on a3. Should I take the pawn, or there is something that we are missing? Eventually, I am missing. I don't know. So let me take the pawn. Pawn is a pawn. So let's take it. A rook on b3. Probably this is the idea of our opponent, but how does it help him? I just go queen a4, and still it looks like we just took the pawn. We can always go knight d4, knight on g5. Wow, very aggressive play, but it doesn't look like it is a great play, because to give a checkmate, it's a very difficult task in following positions. Usually it is not working to deliver checkmate, and also we can have this double knights defense. So I don't think it's gonna be a checkmate. We have the move h6, knight probably has to go back. We have knight on d4, take, and the rook might fall. What could be the idea of our opponent? I don't know. So I will be playing the move h6. We are attacking the knight on g5. And next, after knight on e4, we have the move knight on d4, and it's a fork. It is a fork. Maybe we will be winning, but I think somehow our opponent, he became too optimistic. I think he could have defended this position much tougher. Yes, it is pawn down. Yes, the bishop is not so beautiful here. Obviously not the perfect position for the white bishop, but it is by far not over. Now I think it's gonna be very difficult for our opponent here to be back in the game. Yes, I understand the idea is take queen on h5. Maybe there's some kind of play for white, but maybe we are just winning here by force. Let me calculate a little bit. Are we winning by force? Or take here. We have knight h6. This, we have this queen c4. He goes rook g1. Maybe we are not winning yet by force. So the game is not over yet. I think we can just play this very safe. Knight on e7. So we have these two beautiful knights in the defense. Next, we have this rook c2 coming, which is very dangerous. And to give a checkmate to the Black King when you have this pair of knights. Knight is a great defender. Knight is a great defender. Once you have a bishop, yes, it's possible to give you a checkmate, but in case you have this pair of knights, to give a checkmate is not very realistic. So I think we are doing well, step by step. We are doing slightly better. And finally, I think we're very close to finish line, because Rook is now on the second. We are having the extra pawn. There is no checkmate visible currently, and yeah, there is not even a check. To give a checkmate, usually first you need to give a check, and I don't see here even a single check. There is some knight of 6, but we can just take it. So this is not dangerous. I think we are on a very good pass, and the next game is going to be against Forest. Forest has a very interesting account, especially the ending of account is interesting. You will see. I hope in the chat you show some support to Forest. We have knight f6, so finally he decides to give me this piece. I don't know why he does it. Maybe I'm missing something, but otherwise I will be just taking. Of course, we can play king h8. Also here, there is like nothing, but I don't know what happens in case I take. So I take because I literally don't see anything here for white. We play the king h7. Next we have the rook g8, or in case he takes, we have knight on g6. There is just nothing. There is nothing. So let's see. He gave us a piece, and it looks like it's gonna be a game over now, because there is no compensation here, there is no nothing, and yeah. IDBM is writing funny comment. I don't know how you could forget his account name. Yeah. Forest has a very funny account name. You will see, guys. Forest, one of our biggest supporters here, with a very special account name. So yeah. Forest, please be ready after the ending of the current game. We will be starting immediately the game, yeah? Forest, just that you are ready, so we don't waste the time. We have queen on h5. What is the idea of that? Is there something connected to queen takes h6, but the knight is here, so this cannot be the idea by white. Well, what is the idea of our opponent? Hard to tell. I can just bring the queen, for example, a little bit closer, attacking the pawn on g2. And it looks like not a bad decision, in my opinion. So let's play this queen on e4. Now the rook from c2 and the queen simultaneously in a beautiful tandem. Pressure, bishop on e1. Not the best. We have this kind of very tall pawn here on a1, not doing much. Now the rook goes back. It means surrender. This is just a surrender, because there is no more attack, no more nothing. Let's get the queen to e2. We continue making pressure on the pawn g2. We continue having here this kind of beautiful pin, and we are a full piece up. It is game over. Forest, get ready, get warm. Forest is warm. So we have rook on g1. Let's bring the knight into the game, and we have this little bit of takes f4 or knight on h4, because we have the pin here. This is a tough position here for white. Basically, this piece sacrifice that we saw, this was not the best, but our opponent fought well, we have to admit. He's fighting, he's trying to find resources, he is thinking till the end. He is a great fighter. I always like when we see a great fighter because we have always to respect the fighting spirit of someone. And our opponent definitely has this kind of fighting spirit because he thinks, he fights. Yes, maybe he makes a couple of mistakes, but we all do, and that's alright. But a great fighting spirit. This is always fantastic to see. Yep, Fun Forest, that's correct. Don't listen to me talking during we are playing. Later, when you're back, I will be always commenting on the game. So, in case of something, in case you will have questions after the game, I will be commenting on that. Alright. We have the move Queen on h3. Now we are a piece up, plus we have this massive pressure on the G file. And as well, we can just take some material away. So we can just, for example, take here on a2, we have the move g4 been played so quickly. It should be somehow game over. So let's put the knight on h4 and taking the rook on f3. There is queen e4 coming next. And I think that's it. Queen on e4, check. And yeah. It is game over. It is game over. Our opponent fought very, very well. He's offering us a rematch, but no, because we have Forest. So I will have to decline the rematch. Usually I like to play a rematch, but no. Now we have Forest. I'm waiting for your challenge because you have a very special nickname. So I will not miss your nickname. And you guys will see Forest has a very, very special, yeah, I see. Forest is here. Okay, let's go. Let's go. And my first question to the chat: how do you like the nickname of our friend Forest? Do you remember this nickname? Okay, e4, e5. Let me know what do you think about Forest. If Forest chose the right account name. So we have the Scotch. I will be taking bishop c4. This is one of the possible lines here in the Scotch. We play with the move knight f6. We go for the very, very main. So yeah. Let's see. What Forest is going to play next. We have the short castle. Absolutely possible play, one of the main lines, and this would be the main. So the question is, should I go for the main or should I choose something else? I don't know, because usually this is the main. So the thing is that if black doesn't play the main, then black might be immediately under pressure. So I think I will be going for the very main. The main line goes now with the move rook on e1. This should be played. Let's see if Forest is going to play that, because it's a must. Rook e1 is a must, and actually it's a very funny line. We go with the move d5, bishop takes, queen takes, and then we have knight on c3. Very, very beautiful. This is of course still theory. This line is more or less equal, so rook on e1, this is absolutely correct. d5. Now bishop takes is the main. Take, and knight on c3. Bishop on b5. What is that? What is this? Bishop on b5. This I don't know. It looks suspicious because I think bishop takes d5. This is the way to play. And last time we played against Forest, I think the same, if I remember correctly. I just wanted to test if Forest did some homework, but it seems like he did not. Because last time he played a good game, I think, but also unlucky in the opening. And now, in case you play Forest lines, okay, you have to know the line. Especially 2200 is not so bad. So bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, knight on c3. Look at this beautiful move, because I cannot take the knight with d pawn or with a knight. And then black has to go queen h5, knight takes e4, bishop e6, and so on and so on and so on. So this is still theory. Now we have the move bishop b5, which is unusual. I believe I can go bishop c5. I just don't know what is the point of this bishop b5. 2 pawns down, Okay, let's say Forest is capable of winning 1 pawn back. But it's still just a pawn down. Forest. He gave us a pawn. Okay. So, knight on d2. The idea is to play knight on b3 and to take on e4. But still, we'll be having a pawn up. So, let's go. Short castle. To keep the pawn on e4, it would be too dangerous. So, I think I should play this short castle. This looks normal. Knight takes. We will be taking back. I think, yeah, Forest misplayed the opening, but Forest is a tough fighter. I remember from the last game, Forest is a very, very tough fighter, so it will be a tough game. I still didn't see your comments about the nickname of Forest, if he has chosen the right name. What do you think? Okay, we have bishop on f5. We are trying to finish our development of the pieces. Now the rook is under attack. We have the pawn on the forward leg, the extra pawn. Idea for black is to eventually fight for the e-file, number 1. Number 2, we should maybe get the queen first out, so we're getting the rook into the game, or eventually rook d8 to keep the pawn alive. For white, it would be extremely important now to find a way to get to the d4 pawn. We have bishop takes c6. It's possible, of course, but in case I take, obviously bishop is gonna take back, but I will be taking the bishop, so... And there is eventually rook e5. I saw that, but I was not sure if this is working or not. Maybe one Forest tricked us. Because I was not sure, but now I see. Of course it does work. Why I don't take the rook? I spoke too much. And now maybe we will get crushed by Forest. Let's see. Let's see if we still have a chance, because now we are doing very, very poorly here. We have to fight for survival. It's not gonna be easy to survive, by the way, in this position, because it is so bad. Okay, let's try to survive in the current position. We are doing very, very bad, because I don't see how to defend the bishop. This is a problem. I could have taken on e4, but it would be not much better, so we're doing very bad. In any case, to take here on c2 looks also very, very bad. How to fight against Forest in the current position? Difficult to fight. Can I find something just to have a chance? We are not doing very well. How to get some chances here? I don't know. To be honest, very difficult to get even a slightest chance to fight in this position, because we are doing just so poorly. Yeah, I played terribly. I played just terribly, so let's try to fight at least. Okay, I think I have to take the pawn, because otherwise I will be just completely lost. Of course, also now I am completely lost, but maybe we'll get some little chances. So, I have to take. And I have to go here. So, I hope that we'll have these 2 pawns, which is, of course, a lost position. But what a move I did, bishop f5. This is unbelievable, because this is typical for chess. You do a logical move, you stop to think, and then you get immediately crushed. Chess is a game of calculation. One wrong move, bam. Because this move, bishop f5, it was so logical, but then we have this bishop c6, and boom, I'm just gone. Yeah, chess is brutal. We have to stay focused all the time. We made some jokes about the nickname of Van Forest, and immediately he punished us for that, yeah. Absolutely deserved punishment. What can I say? So let me go c5. At least maybe I will try to get some little bit of chances here with a piece down. Objectively speaking, we are completely lost. There is nothing to talk about. This position is completely lost. So to save the game is going to be a very difficult task. I think we need Forest a little bit to help us here. By ourselves, we will be not able to save the game. But let's fight. Let's fight. Let's see. Forest is very close to win the game. He did this beautiful bishop takes c6. After a bad opening, I played bishop f5. Very natural move, but it was horrible. And now we are suffering here with a piece down, but we have 2 pawns, so we have little chances to survive. Objectively speaking, little chances, but who knows, who knows. Maybe Forest is going to get nervous, and then we will be back. Still a lot of time on the clock. Is it possible that GM will be crushed? GMs are fighting. Maybe I will get crushed, but I will be fighting. So, that said, let's go. First, let's play the move h6, because let's see if the bishop is gonna be going to d2 or to h4. This is like sort of checking the options. Now let's go with the rook b8, because we have to create at least a little bit of play. Without any kind of play, I can resign. So rook on b4 is sort of forced, because I try to do something. I want to see where the queen is going, and now we have this idea of g5, f5 somewhere. It looks, of course, quite horrible, but I have to take the risk already, because in case I don't, I will just resign. So I have to take the risk of playing the move f5. The idea is bishop g3, I have the move f4, and maybe I will get a chance to play the move g5. I fully understand this is still a very bad position, but we are fighting. It's like when you're doing bad, you have to search for something that might make the game a little bit more complex. To resign immediately is making no sense. So you are just searching for accidental chances. And who knows, sometimes, yeah, sometimes this kind of accidental chances are there, and yeah, you are just taking them. By the way, not so long ago, Hadi BM was so close to beat me. We played also one game with Hadi. Hadi fought very, very well. I've been having a good position. Then Hadi was jumping with his knight like crazy, and actually he could have won the game. Okay, Hadi was low on time, but so close to win the game. It would be not the first time that one of our VHS friends here is so close to beat me. Now, also Forest. Forest is doing very, very well, but let's see if Forest is able to win the game against me here. For the moment, we have the 2 pawns for the piece up for white. White is doing close to winning. This bishop h4 line, a little bit dangerous. It would be better to put the bishop on d2. Would be way safer, because now there is a g5 and the 4 idea eventually somewhere, or the endgame. In theory, this kind of endgame also not that easily winning for white. Yes, it is winning, but it is fighting winning. So fighting winning is never easy. Let's see what is Forest going to play next. Just 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Forest is running down on time. He has to play g4. Ooh, this is so risky. I understand the idea of Forest is to provoke me into taking. Then he would like to play knight on e5, but it's already 3 pawns. This would be already 3 pawns, which is not easy. And still I have this option of playing g5, followed by the move f4. There is this queen on g6. Check, I have the queen g7. So the question is, should I play the move g5? Should I play the move f4? Attacking the pawn on g4 also looks not easy at all. This is an interesting play, but so risky. Forest is a gambler. Forest is a gambler. Instead of playing some safe solutions, he is gambling it all because it is so risky. Maybe it's a great play, but it is such a risky play. If something goes wrong here, then out of nowhere you're not better any longer with the white pieces. And of course it is a disaster. Imagine not to win such a position would be just terrible. I think this kind of position, take knight on e5, is pretty unclear. So let me try with the move g5. I go also crazy, but being a piece down, you go crazy, you're happy. Because you say, okay, anytime, go crazy with a piece down. Okay, I think it's not a bad thing. So for me to risk it all here, it is something very positive. For Forest, on the other hand, a piece up before, and now not so sure. Very interesting move g5, but a very risky decision. So I would choose more simple solutions for white, because to risk like that, I don't know. Let's see what Forrest been calculating, because maybe he had an idea how to proceed next, or probably he had an idea, but it is a big gamble. So let's see. The rook on b4 a little bit out of the game. I would prefer to have the rook on b8, but maybe next. Is Forrest giving us now the bishop by playing bishop takes g5, or we will see still the move bishop g3, f4, then some check here. We're gonna play the move queen on g7. It is a heavy fight. There is some kind of idea, queen h5, followed by the move rook e6, trying to checkmate. I'm gonna take the bishop, knight is hanging. It's a mess on the chessboard. But Forrest tricked us so badly with his bishop on c6. Oof. And now we are sort of back. Little time left for Forrest to decide what to do next. We are back. We are back with the black pieces. I know that the chat is definitely cheering for one Forest, this is clear. Still, GM is a GM, so the title has sometimes some kind of psychological meaning. Knight on g5, so there's 96 coming next. This is unpleasant. Can we go like queen on g7, knight goes here. In case I take, I'm afraid king goes to h1, but I will be checkmated there. To get checkmated would be terrible. How can I get my rook back? Not easy at all to get the rook back, by the way. This position is crazy. I need my rook back, but how to do that? Because in case I go rook b8, there is queen c4 with a check. So what can I do here? I think I have to do something with the queen on the e3, because I don't like the queen there. So I will maybe play the move queen on b5, but there is this queen on h3, and maybe I will get checkmated. Not so easy, by the way, not so easy. I have to close the G file. If the G file is open, I am afraid I will get checkmated. So what can I do here? What can I do in the current position? How to bring the rook back into the game? I don't know. I don't know how to bring. Okay, I have to play probably queen on g7. I don't see something better. I know it's so risky, but I don't see a better solution. I have to take, I think. There is nothing better. Yes, we have this move as we saw it, and now I thought I should be able to play this one. So, queen here. We would like to give a checkmate, and the question is, can white checkmate the black king on g8? Not so easy, because actually the bishop is a great defender, now controlling in a lot of squares. And can I go like this and to run different direction? There is take, and king here, check. Oof, very dangerous. Probably I have to stay I have to stay here on h8. There's nothing better. There's a checkmate for the moment. What a crazy game. This is probably the best for white because I don't see something else. Rook on g2, maybe even better solution. Yeah, great move by Forrest. Rook on g2 because he's not losing time, and he would like immediately to play rook on g1. This is a nice idea. So I will be playing still rook on f6. The knight is under attack. We should not forget this is a checkmate here on h2. So for example, rook h6 somewhere might be very, very dangerous. And I would like to return back with my rook. So if I can return back, I will be doing fine. So I'm back. Knight is under attack. Is there somewhere to go with the knight where it would be okay for white? Maybe there are no good squares left for the knight, and it means I will be winning. Also no time for Forrest. Yeah, but very good game by Forrest. Almost beat me. Knight on g7, and now there is only idea of knight takes on a5, but this is not enough, obviously. So I think I'm able now just to play this one, and I think it is game over because we are attacking the pawn on h2. There is no defense, and it means game over. One Forrest takes, and yes, it is not helping because we can take now on h2, and it's a checkmate. But yes, very close, very close. Forrest, you have to cheer a little bit for Forrest. Great trick here with bishop on c6. I think Forrest is back in the chat. Let's wait a little bit. Because Forrest is always turning off the sound when he's playing. Excellent game by Forrest. So we had Forrest. Are you here? Let's see if you are here, Forrest. Write something. So Forrest, make some noise. Maybe Forrest is a little bit upset after the loss in a winning position, but yeah, what to do? This is sometimes Forrest, you know yourself. Chess is a fight. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So excellent game. First of all, Forrest, in case you are listening now, you should take, of course, on d5. As we spoke, this is the main line of the theory. Knight on c3, beautiful move. The knight cannot be taken, neither knight or pawn. So the move for black is usually here. You take with a knight and bishop e6. So this is the main line. This line is approximately equal. All right. So because this line is equal, this is not an opening really to play a lot of games with the white pieces because it's difficult to fight. We have the move in the game. We have bishop b5. This is very unusual. Knight on d2. Okay, maybe it's fine. Take. And here I played this horrible blunder because I spoke too much. I literally spoke too much, and yeah, this is a horrible blunder. And then now it would be typical to push the F button, but against me. If Forrest could push the F, it would be definitely F push, because what a blunder. Bishop on f5. I think black is doing at least equal. Maybe black is better. Just get out the pieces to some normal squares, like queen d5 or bishop e6. Now, Forrest was a beautiful taking on c6, and what should I do next? That's it. The game is basically over, because if I take bishop takes, this is just completely lost, I think, because two pieces just way better. So this position is close to lost. What I did is the same, close to lost. I mean, obviously piece up for white, much better. But I think here, Forrest, you should have considered more strategic play. in this position, as you can see, the bishop is here on d6, and you have two options of winning the current game. So one of them is try to play solid moves, like for example bishop on d2, get the bishop on d2, get the pieces out. Next move, play b3. You are covering the light squares. Next you're gonna play knight on e5, knight on c4, or knight on d3, and slowly collect all the pawns. So it is obviously completely winning position for white, no question about that. By playing bishop g5, you are risking a little bit, yeah. I mean, why to put the bishop on h4? You're searching for problems. Yeah, it's like, maybe it's still a good move, but why to do that? Why not to play bishop on d2? Simple way, bishop is doing so well. In case I play rook on b8, there's always b3, so there's basically nothing I can do in a long run. This position is winning for white. Maybe the game, of course, goes on, and there might be a few tricks, etc, etc. But objectively speaking, this position is a win. The next, what you do is just to double up on the free file, and you say, okay, do you want to change on the e file? In case you change, white is doing something good, so you're simplifying. And yeah, in a long run, obviously, this is going to be just a win. So bishop h4, dangerous. Now you have the move f5, and of course bishop g3, f4, so it's not so easy any longer. White is still doing better in my opinion, but it is already not easy. So it's a fight. It's already a fight, and you have to calculate here. Maybe it was still good to play the move rook to e2. I thought rook e2 is making sense, because you just wait for the move g5, and now you might be able to sacrifice a piece because you are controlling the e file. It looks dangerous for black, but maybe I can survive here, but in my opinion white is doing just much better. So yeah. Oh, we have a VIP here. VIP. And yeah, welcome. Welcome. VIP member. Welcome. So let's continue watching the game. So rook on e2 was the right way to play, in my opinion, and g4 is so dangerous. Yeah, Forest, it's an interesting play, but it's just so dangerous. And now we have complete mess on the chessboard. I don't know who is doing better here. Maybe white, maybe black. So difficult to say, but from the position you had, it made no sense to go for this kind of gamble. And everything is hanging, so many options. For example, here you have some options like rook g3, sacrificing. You would like to go there, but no idea. Literally no idea who is doing better. I think now the h2 pawn is under attack. Probably the h2 pawn cannot defend it any longer. So yeah, this is going to be already a win for black. But yeah, good play, very good play by Forest. Nice, good fight. I think in case you want to improve, always think about it, Forest, why you did something wrong, why you maybe became a little bit nervous or something, and next time don't do the same mistake. This is the way it goes to become a better player. You do something, you analyze, you take conclusions, you get better. So yeah, I hope, Forest, it was useful and it was helpful. All right, so I see a question by the Elf Kingdom. Interesting nickname. Do you do personal coaching, GM Naiditsch? Yes, but rarely. Very rarely. This is saying I have to go back to work, but it's always a pleasure to check in on the streams. Yeah, most welcome, most welcome. Thank you very much for the nice words. I hope it is useful, I hope it is educational, and I hope you get slightly better every day. You're watching the stream, even one idea per day, it is enough. Chess is a long run game. Every day just a little bit better, small step, but in the right direction. All right, guys, it was a very long stream now. Usually I do 2 hours, it was now 3 hours 30, so we try to make up for the days when I've been not streaming. This, I don't know if you're already back to work or not. This I will be streaming tomorrow. Join us. We will be playing some game in case you like. I think you supported also very much the last time. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will be back tomorrow. And yeah, in case you have some kind of inquiries, please do send us an official email. This is always the best official email. We are always answering at the official emails. In case you have some great ideas, you have some suggestions, anything else, training, whatever, send us an official email. So once again, thanks all for watching. I wish you all a great day. I hope to see you tomorrow. And as we say on VChess, one smart move at a time. Thank you very much, and till tomorrow.